Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another tournament stream. I hope you didn't turn your volume all the way up because there was no music, because now you will listen to me basically in stereo. But today I'm not alone. I'm actually joined by fellow commentator Fugit. Probably pronounced that wrong. I actually don't know how to pronounce your name.
It's Fugit. It's just like
Fugit.
F-O-O-G-I-T. Fugit. It's Latin.
Fugit.
Yeah, it's Latin.
Okay. Well, hello and welcome.
Hello, Amaunets, and hello, everybody else, everybody out there watching. Yes, as Amaunets said, this is a double commentary stream, interestingly.
Yes. Basically, we will probably talk over each other just a bit, but we're just going to get used to it and we're just going to have fun with it, that's all.
Absolutely. And I'm sure we won't talk over each other that much.
I think that the key is, like I said, we'll probably have a first very awkward battle. And after that, we kind of find a flow in which this will work.
I don't know what to say to that. Is it because it's Phoenix and him, or is it because we're doing this for the first time?
Yeah, that, especially the first time, because I remember that when I first started doing commentary, I was with Gentlefun on his channel. And I didn't really do the whole streaming thing yet because I had no laptop at the time that could survive it. So I was basically piggyback riding on his stream and we were commentating together. It was great fun. But at some point, I started commentating on my own in the season after that. And it's so much easier on your own.
Oh, absolutely, and no, I don't disagree. I mean, I've done a couple with Wild One's helper, Jack. I did sort of one in Asia, but I was commentating and just brought him in every now and then. And we did one the other day, which was not an official tour. It was one of the clans had set up their own little tour thing. And yeah, it's completely different. It's a different style, I must admit.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it. The downside is that basically you have to wait for the other to speak and you have to give each other space and all of that. The massive pro is that you don't generally get empty conversation. There are so many times where I'm just talking about, ooh, this is exciting, and basically just random tidbits about the tank that I'm showing in my garage or what's in the store and all of that. And that's really not needed when you have an actual conversational partner.
Well, that's a good point because yeah, a lot of people don't realise that we do a lot of fillers. We fill in a lot of empty space in between matches and stuff, and it can be for the viewers. Sometimes it can be boring. It can sound like we don't have a clue what we're talking about, or we're just waffling on.
We don't. We really don't. But
exactly. But you've got to feel that silence somehow, as people are just sat there just watching nothing really, and they lose interest. So you've got to try and keep people engaged. So yeah, from that respect, you're right. It's ideal because you do get a conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with the tour streams, I find, I mean, if you're doing a normal stream, and I do quite a few of those, you can engage with your audience because you're almost on the same time frame. But with tour streams, because of the delay, it's very difficult to engage with the audience.
Exactly. So, just for those that are not aware, there's a 5-minute delay on the stream. That means that basically everything you say in the chat that we would respond to, you hear 5 minutes later, which makes conversing with the chat pretty much useless, yeah?
And that's the thing. I mean, it just makes it very difficult to engage with the people, despite the fact that they're chatting away in YouTube. And you'd love to say, to answer a specific message, but they're not going to get that for 5 minutes, and by then they've probably forgotten. So yeah, it can be difficult in that respect.
It has taught me, by the way, to put like a 20 to 30 seconds delay on regular streams that I do, and that's mainly to avoid stream sniping. It helps.
That does, yeah. Yeah, I can understand.
Short enough time to keep interacting with the chat, and a long enough time to not get people that are watching your stream, your game, all the whole time.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're teaming up to do a coordinated commentary. As you say, it's a bit more engaging, and you get to have a good chat because there are sometimes after a battle, you want to point things out. You want to say, well, I think they went wrong there, and you may not be right. So it's always good to have somebody to bounce off with there and then.
Exactly. That's the massive pro about commentating just together. It's just great fun that way because you can analyze together.
Absolutely, absolutely. So who we got first? We've got Felix in
Oh
Immortal,
yeah, I
I
forgot
believe.
to actually say that. Let me just grab my sheet because I have a special tournament channel for this stuff. Let's see. We are starting it off with Phoenix versus the second team of Immor.
There
I
we
did
go.
understand from Kuga, by the way, that they didn't even expect to get here today, so they're not even sure they have 7 players. So I promise that we're just gonna have fun with it.
Good old Cougar.
And after that, we have Legion versus Phil and the rest of the bracket.
That is going to be an interesting game, I must admit.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Lots depending on it for Phil.
Absolutely. Really,
Room
really.
invite.
Oh, yeah, room invite. Really looking forward to that one, to be perfectly honest with you. As you say, a lot riding in it for Vale. They currently outside the top 8, which is not where they want to be.
Did you accept the room invite?
I'm about to now. Yep, there we go.
Ah, okay.
There we go.
I was like, did they give us the same team? Because I'm always never quite sure that Wargaming is working as intended.
No, well, we did clarify that we were getting the same team, and they promised that we were, so thankfully, yes.
Okay, I just heard that you sound small, so I'm just upping the volume on the desktop a bit. Well, quite a bit, actually.
Oof.
So let me know, well, in 5 minutes, if this is working now. I actually forgot that, because I have the desktop audio set, like, real low to
Okay.
avoid it overpowering me. But of course, now I have no music and little to no game sounds.
Yeah,
So-
it's different. So normally, I mean, I don't normally have I normally have music in the countdown, but obviously, we can't because it overloads everything because we're chatting away and everything's all hooked up to the same output. So that was traumatic for the people who bothered to come onto my stream.
Setting in the chat that they need to let me know if they can hear you all right now.
Hopefully.
But should be okay, I think.
So we're on Castilla.
Oh god, I hate that map.
Well, I was about to say, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that
It's
map?
I'm just grabbing the preview of the map on the stream because you have the 3 bases. Base B is basically a death trap. Base C is a death trap because of all the camping lights. Base A is the only cap that you can relatively safely cap, but it kind of depends on where your enemies are. And that's the thing with this map. It is so campy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite. I don't think it's quite. I think it's a very difficult tournament map. To be honest with you, because you don't. It's one of those ones whereby sometimes if you spawn in the right place, it helps. But,
Yeah.
it's not free or fast flowing like some of the other maps, as you say. It's very campy in that respect.
This is the most still-made gameplay I've ever seen. Well, the map that provides it, basically. And I understand that. I mean, you know where the campers might be, so you're not going to drive out into the open in a spot where they can shoot you. But it makes for it just very slow action.
Yeah, no, I find that. I mean, every time you stream it, if anybody goes up to the monastery, castle, church, whatever it is area, then you're waiting, hoping as a streamer for them to push along there. But the teams aren't that daft sometimes. So you're right. It does become very stagnant, this map.
Yeah. Especially once you get like to the upper levels of the tournament, like the top 4 and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Because then people are all the more careful, and basically then you just see the teams weighing it out and waiting for the other team to make one single mistake that will cost them the game.
Yeah, and sometimes you do see that, and it's an interesting. Sometimes you wait sort of 5 minutes for action, and then you get it all in the last 2 minutes.
In the meantime, look. Sorry.
No, carry on.
Look at Immo's lineup: 268, Sheridan, and then 4 IS4s and 1 E5.
Well, they are on the south spawn. If Rolling was here, that's what he'd call it. So yeah, I mean, I was just looking at that. It's an interesting pick of their meta there. They've just
Ooh.
changed Waku into another E5.
That
And
makes actually more sense because the
yeah,
E5s get around places.
absolutely. But I'm also looking at Phoenix's team meta lineup, and that's also an interesting one. It's the E3 coming in there.
Yeah, and the STB.
Absolutely.
I once had a 7k spotting damage on this map in the STB. It was beautiful.
Oh, the STB is a
The
beautiful
enemy
tank,
team
though.
was stupid as can be, but it was beautiful.
But the STB is a beautiful tank, let's be honest. Oh, and Brooklyn
Ooh.
must have heard us.
Oh, that's awesome. To be fair, it can really work because with the gun depression, it can from the south spawn. Ooh, here we go, countdown clock. But from the south spawn, you can decap base A from there with the STB on the outer edge of the citadel.
Certainly.
And on the other side, you can just work that ridge to keep people spotted and hopefully lure them out into your line of fire.
Yeah, and I'm going to be interested to see what the teams are going to do on this map, considering their lineups. It could be a bit brawly in some spots.
Think A action with a C camper overlook, like as in some heavies near base C, on top of the hill, getting shots into Castilla, into the citadel.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, and we'll find out very shortly.
Let's go. Ooh, Sheridan's going to the hill by C, by the looks of it.
We've already got the STB of Phoenix heading towards the hill,
Yeah.
where the castle is, along
Brooklyn
with Brooklyn
as
of
well.
Immor. Yep.
So basically doing what we expected, with some heavy in the forms of the E5, especially to cover them with the ice force there and everything. We have the E3 camping in one corner and the 268 in the other.
Absolutely. I'm intrigued by Patrick and Hana in the IS4s of Phoenix moving towards the B cap area. They're not going to take it. They're just going to bunker down there, I think, and just stop it from being capped.
And Brooklyn has been spotted alongside one of the E5s. Blind shot into bush where normally a TD is, but not this time around.
Absolutely. Although Captain Yamamoto in the chaser is getting there eventually.
Ooh, he missed that one. But this is basically exactly what I mean. It's just already, it's stalemate gaming.
Exactly, and I'm noticing that the E3 there is rotating back out of the position he was in.
Yeah, because there's no one there. They don't know that Sheridan is there.
No.
But that's the downside of taking 2 TDs. It basically puts your team back in mobility. You have the big gun, but you have to make it worth it.
I mean, looking at the 2 E5s there, Waku and No Name Player, they're in a great position, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they are. But this is where, ooh, Brooklyn took the first hit there.
Indeed.
Ooh, my game is glitching a little bit. Probably getting used to Discord also being used.
But you're right. I mean, as we predicted, it's a kind of, you get to the church type area, and it then becomes a sort of stalemate.
We're waiting for the campers to get spotted somehow. And taking tiny little bits of HP from each other.
That was a big bounce, I think, there on MZ.
Yeah, just track damage on Cougar.
Well, No Name Player's making a slight push forward. Maybe to try and get some shots into the STB of Masikota.
Yeah, and to possibly keep them spotted for the Sheridan on the other side. Oh, he's actually rotating back, so he's not actually going to the spot. And that was a blind shot into the chaser. Did you see that?
I did. I mean, it's a good shot as well. I mean, it's made Captain Yamamoto really rethink his positioning.
Ooh. IS4s are capping base B and making it difficult for Brooklyn. Look at that.
Absolutely.
He's getting shot in the rear. He has to be very careful. But Trick is now taking some damage. And base B got reset too late.
Yeah, I mean, the Sheridan there of Black Elite did come round, but as you said, just slightly too late. But now we've got MZ in the IS4 of Immor pushing down onto Reaction X.
No name players taking some damage. They are pushing, but that is dangerous. They know where those TDs are. And they don't have the gun power the guns around
Oh,
to make
big.
this work.
Oh,
Because
there he
look at
goes. Absolutely. I mean, as you said, you called it. It's a danger area knowing the 2 TDs are there.
And they don't have the... Basically, this is an uncoordinated push. They are pushing, but they're not committing to it. And it's costing them too much. MZA is not going to make it either.
No.
There you go.
The E3 takes him out quite easily there. I think what they were looking to do was take out Reaction X and also Cap at the same time, but they really got punished for that.
They're now at a 2-gun disadvantage.
Yeah, plus, I mean...
And that's about to be 3.
Yeah. I mean, the STB now of Sakota's come in, and there goes the Sheridan. So it's 3
this
against 3
could potentially
against
become
7.
a 7-0.
Yeah, it's not looking
If
good.
Patrick stays alive and Reaction.
I mean, they got 1 down, but no-name player is about to go down here. There we go, which leaves Cougar all alone.
And exposed. Because she's now surrounded.
Yeah.
Nice roll bounce though.
I mean, Waku can come in and do a bit of damage, but it's not going to save Cougar.
Yeah, but
now.
it's not going to be enough against 5 guns.
No. It was an interesting push into the A-cap, considering the 2 TDs that sat at the back. And there goes Cougar.
And now only Waku is left. But this is it. It's because they were pushing. They didn't wait for the rest of the team to actually be there for the push.
Not quite, but I mean, it seemed... I don't know if it was a necessary push by the IS-4 there, of MZA, to push down in towards the A-cap, knowing the 2
I have
TDs.
a feeling there might have been miscommunication. That they were like, push A, and he assumed that it meant push up and get the guys near A,
Possibly.
rather than get the base.
Possibly, because they lost tanks very easily in that quarter there. That's what they didn't need. And I mean, unfortunate for the Sheridan, couldn't reset the B cap, and then again got absolutely deleted. So lessons to be learned by Immel, I think.
Yeah. But like I said, they weren't even sure they were going to have 7 players today, so...
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, we're going to rotate, obviously, the spawn points now with Phoenix on the south spawn and this time Immor on the north spawn. And it seems that Immor are not really... They've changed their meta quite a lot. Oh, maybe not. No, they have. They've still changed it quite a lot. And so is Phoenix, to be fair.
Let's see. I've now put you at desktop audio normal, so you're at the same exact volume. And I've reduced my game sounds to 1%.
I've asked my guys if they can hear you. Hopefully, they haven't come back to me yet.
And we need... This is also something... after today, we will know if we want to commentate in the future what settings we need to use. So it's that easy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, 15 seconds. We have Immor in a grill, T22 medium, 3 IS4s and 2 E5s, and Phoenix in 2 E5s, 268 and 2 IS4s, and STB and a Vickers.
Bringing the Vickers in, that's a good call. It's a great little tank to run around the map and cause mayhem in the right hands.
And I believe it's so much more effective than the Sheridan now. I mean, the Sheridan has the missiles, but you need like someone like Iverson or his Royal Fatness to run them in order to make it worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, the Vickers, we're seeing the Vickers taking over not only from the Sheridan, but also the Bat Chat, which doesn't really get a look in often anymore compared to the Vickers. But it is a great tank. The Vickers is a great tank. I mean, it's got insane DPM, good damage output, and you know, it can bounce. That's also what it can do.
Exactly. You just kind of need to make sure that you just don't get hit.
Absolutely, yeah. But even with
I wonder if they're ever going to buff the Bat Chat in order to make it more competitive again, because it's a great little tank, but it's just not competitive compared to the rest.
No, you're right. I mean, the thing about the Vickers compared to the Bat Chat, it's very difficult to sort of waste a Vickers with a good HE round, whereas a Bat Chat, we know you can.
The Vickers already spotting Black Elite.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to get a hit in. Yes, he does.
What a shot. That was a
nice
great shot.
cheeky shot. I like it when they do that. It's just that's just like smart gaming, because he's not pushing forwards. He's not making himself a target, but he is getting that first little hit in.
Well, we're seeing a bit of a change in strat here from Immor with the IS4s heading towards the B cap area. Again, not looking to cap, but looking to make sure it's not capped.
Interesting that it's 3 of them though, rather than the normal 2.
Yeah, and I mean we've still got the grill of Wawix overlooking the A cap area and the castle.
Yamamoto just now he's turning back again, but he was turning towards Black Elite, so I was kind of wondering if there was going to be a giant hit there. Vickers has now been dealt some damage.
Yeah, and the thing is, they know where the Vickers is, but obviously he's not spotted, so the grill can't really get anything sensible onto him.
I wonder if from that point of view where the grill is, whether or not you can actually see that your shot hits something, because that's one of the beauties of blind shots.
Absolutely.
If your shot suddenly disappears in mid-air, you know you've hit something.
I mean, the grill
now we
is...
have the E5 near base C. That is the camping thing that I meant earlier, to get shot into the Citadel. He's in excellent position over there.
Cougar's taken a bit of a fire there from Reaction X, because the 2 IS4s are also overlooking the B cap for Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, the E5 of Dominic Joro is just sat there for a reason, and it's a good position to be in. But you're right, it's a campy position.
Look at how Yamamoto is positioned though. He's like almost at a, like, what is it? Not a 45 degrees, but like at a steep angle.
Yeah.
Just overlooking places. And they're now capping base B. I'm not sure if they're going to get away with it, but look at that. They basically, it's just troll. They're not even there to cap it. They're basically there to draw them out and take away their HP.
Absolutely, and why not? But and this is the thing. So the MZ again tries to push in and gets punished. And still getting punished.
That E5.
Absolutely.
And Cougar.
And now Yanni has come round in the Vickers to put shots across to the IS4s.
This is absolutely beautiful gameplay by Phoenix. Very patient gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just positioning their tanks nicely.
Ooh, Dominic has been spotted. And
that was a big hit by the grill there.
By everyone, I think.
Well, I think it was everybody. I think everybody. And there he goes.
And there he goes.
But I think you're right. I think everybody trained their target.
They knew they were getting shots from there. They just didn't know who, why. Now, Immor is slowly turning it around. Reaction X has to move in order to stay safe. And the guys on the Citadel have a free line of fire into him because of that. Now they're focusing more on the town again.
But Hana's trying to come in.
Reaction X pushing MZA along with Hana.
Yeah, Hana's trying to come in to take the pressure off Reaction X. And it has kind of worked because MZA has had to move out. And Brooklyn is kind of trapped to an extent.
And with that action, Immor has actually grabbed base A, so they're going to get a point lead.
Mm-hmm.
More than they already had, that is, because they already made a kill.
But there are a lot of low hit points there now. I mean, Cougar, MZ, they're looking decidedly unhealthy. Now MZ is a one-shot.
Yeah. We have Brooklyn pushing towards the Vickers, which can be dangerous, because if Hana is paying attention, he could shoot Brooklyn in the bum.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But right now, if Immor just holds, they have it. But they are bleeding HP all around.
They are bleeding. And the grill now is not able to get shots onto the Vickers. But Zanny is a one-shot. And there he goes.
And there he goes.
But
MZA as well.
Absolutely. And now they're going to push onto Cougar. And why not? Because Cougar's a one-shot, realistically.
Yeah.
And there he goes. Sorry, there she goes.
He's one of the few female players. Or at least one of few female players, but also a really good female player. And of course, clan lead from Immor.
Absolutely.
Huawei's taking needless chances there by not just hugging the building, already losing more HP than he had to.
And now Hana's going to be able to push easily onto Warwick.
Mm-hmm. Trying to push him out so Reaction X can get shots in as well.
It's a good shot there, though. Oh, left him on next to no hit points, but he's still got hit points. Will he load before? Yeah. Oh.
That is
No
teamwork.
name. What a great shot from up there. That's made Reaction Exchange's opinion.
Yep. But Black Elite is almost gone. The E5s have to be careful. Warwick's really can't do anything. Because if he exposes himself, he's dead. Oh, but he still gets
great
that shot in.
What a fantastic shot.
There goes Black Elite. I mean, they still have the point advantage if they survive it. Waku messing up that shot could have potentially cost them the game.
Yeah, Waku needed to land that shot, but Waku does in the end. But now the STB has come round. But the grill is still there, as we've seen.
And still making himself worth it.
Tries to get shots into no-name player in the E5, but he takes down Patrick.
And this STB is not going to be long for this world.
Watch the grill. Oh, he misses.
No, he messed up.
No.
Oh. That is one lucky grill.
Absolutely. And he's going to get a shot into Captain Yamato, but he goes down.
That was a big mistake from Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Because he now... Oh, the battle is actually finished. We'd run out of time.
We've run out of time.
But they won because they had the point lead. But Yamamoto made the mistake there of shooting the grill. Because the grill had just fired. So
yeah. But what,
it would have made more sense to shoot Waku.
I mean, what a game for Warwick's there, though. I mean, how he survived is beyond me. I mean, great stuff coming in from... I can't remember who it was in the E5 who took him out. Took out the IS-4. But really saved Warwick's bacon there. And allowed him to get some really good shots back in. That was the main thing.
This was actually beautiful gameplay. Still my gameplay in the beginning. But then it just kind of developed. And I like that.
Yeah, no, Imor, they're a lot more sensible, I think, in their approach. They didn't panic as much. They didn't try to push onto things that they knew that they were going to get hurt. And they were a lot more methodical in their overall gameplay. Very nice to watch.
But also the other way around. If Phoenix had actually made a push, Imor would not have won. But they were like a bit all over the place. They were uncoordinated.
There is that. I mean, they lost their E5 up on the hill. As we were saying, he sat there camping, and then every gun, as soon as he was spotted, every gun trained on him and just gone.
Did Phoenix just lose a player? There's only 6 in the queue now.
Captain Yamato is in the queue for some reason.
Ooh, that's not hopeful. In the meantime, for Port Bay, our tiebreaker map, we have a grill, 4 IS-4s, a mouse, and an E5. So pretty much no mobility there.
No,
they're definitely going to be focusing base A and B.
Which is interesting for this map, but hey, there we go. And of course we've got
Phoenix in...
Yeah, we got Phoenix
a mouse,
in the
2 IS-4s, STB, IS-7, E5, and Vickers.
With the STB and the Vickers, they do have mobility.
They do, and you kind of need that. Well, not necessarily. It's a relatively small map, but if you have a lot of heavy tanks left, you can basically run around circles in them and either get the damage in or get the bases.
Well, if Im
so
will
if
go
it's a
anywhere,
close game,
well, I was about to say, if Im will go anywhere near C, I mean, with the Vickers and the STB getting over the other side of the little creek type thing, they will be able to put shots in quite easily. So I can't see Im going there.
I'm really curious to see what's going to happen because we have the grill going into camping position that is overlooking base C, and we have no-name player doing the same thing. They're not actually going into C, but I don't think the E5 do. They have the view range in order to spot base C. I don't think it does.
But interesting, the STB is peeled off, allowing the Vickers just to go over that side and not fully over that side. I mean, Phoenix are not daft, but Black Elite.
No, exactly. The Vickers is now going to the corner, but it makes sense to only send one tank there.
But he does spot Black Elitist. Sorry, Blackie Elite. So Blackie Elite is spotted. And
I just keep saying Black Elite, actually. I missed the 13. Reaction X going to potentially troll cap. I'm not sure that he's actually there to cap, but more like nice if it works, if it doesn't. And trying to draw them out because he knows he's got support.
Absolutely. Oh, that was Warwick
Real
tried
shooting the ground.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think you're right. I think he's there to pull them out rather than anything else. And as you can see,
Exactly.
I mean, there are 3 guns now of Immor that are effectively out of the game at the moment.
Yeah. Basically, Immo is playing for a very passive game. And Phoenix is using that. Oof. Zanny taking a big hit from the grill there. Overextending needlessly because he didn't need to do that.
No.
And they could have known that there was going to be a camper there. Reaction X being careful.
It's an interesting strat from Immor, I must admit. I think you're right. They're very passive. I mean, Cougar's just holding back with the mouse along with Brooklyn to keep an eye on that B cap.
But the thing is, they don't even need to do anything. At least Phoenix doesn't.
Well,
it will be Immor that has to make a push at some point because Cougar is now slowly losing some HP. But look at the point difference already.
Well, absolutely. And with Zanny over there in that Vickers, it's Blackie Elite and MZA really can't push onto Reaction X.
Exactly. They only need to keep base C. And be careful because they're actually not being careful.
No, that was a great shot into no-name player. Because Reaction X are just spotting those 3 up. Allowing the Vickers, who's on-spotted all the way over the far side, to get shots in. Okay, that one bounced, but...
Waku is steadily being murdered.
Absolutely.
Getting shot from multiple directions. But Reaction X is in a beautiful position. I mean, they're now pushing him. But he has friends.
He does. He has a lot of friends.
And this is he's going to sell his XP very expensively. Just the STB needs to be careful.
And here they go. I mean, the Vickers as well is over there, is putting shots in. Unfortunately...
The more those heavies need to pull back, the more the Vickers can get shots in.
And the grill is taking a long time to move in. And Cougar's being damaged in the city mouse on mouse.
MZA now being the target for Phoenix.
Exactly, and why not? Very isolated is MZA.
Ooh, he's gone.
There we go. I mean, and look at the damage dished out against Reaction X. There's hardly anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Cougar's down to Cougar did win the mouse brawl.
Yeah, but it cost them way too much. Patrick is now almost gone, but look at the difference. There's 3 tanks for 2 tanks, and not even that just yet. 805 points.
Absolutely.
For Phoenix, well, now a little bit less, but overall, if Phoenix just plays it carefully, now Cougar has also gone.
Yeah.
It is 5 guns versus 3 guns, and there's no hope because one of them is a grill, and that's just basically sneeze on them and they die.
Absolutely, and as much as Brooklyn tries to come to relieve the pressure on the grill, it's just never going to work. They're always going to focus it. And
no-name player is going to be gone. There he goes.
I mean, Brooklyn may not last, but even if Brooklyn does last, it's still lost on points.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting one, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
I mean,
I really liked the way Phoenix played this game.
Absolutely. And seeing the team lineup, you would have thought that Immor would have said there's no point sending anything to C at all.
If they had just gone straight on in for base A and base B, they would have had this.
That's what I'm thinking, and I don't understand why they kept the E5, the grill in the IS4 overlooking the C cap. That there really wasn't a point, considering that they had that Vickers and the STB. I mean, look at the STB, 5,500 damage. I mean, that's fantastic damage in the STB. So,
even in tournaments, I mean, it's not about the damage you do in tournaments, but when you get above 4K, that's always noteworthy.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it just goes to show, you know, the free reign the STB was kind of given with the strat that was employed.
And to be fair, massive kudos to Reaction X, because Phoenix would not have won without him.
There is that.
First with the cap on C, getting away with that. But after that, the position that he took, the troll position, and then Immor pushing him, thinking probably that he was a lot more lonesome than he was.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Because they didn't have anything with really good view range to spot up those other tanks, and that's the thing.
Exactly. If that beginning position of the E5 from Immo before they actually moved towards base C, I've seen strats where they use an STB for that role, and that works because the STB has the view range, and then you have the grill behind the STB to decap,
Yes,
and that can work beautifully.
but we're taking all those heavies. I mean, Immo deprived themselves of that mobility on this map.
Hmm.
And as you say, I mean, okay, if you're going to stick the grill at the back there overlooking that sea cap, it would have been certainly a better option to stick in maybe a medium, especially on this
Yeah.
map with all its undulations, to get round there, to spot on the sea cap. And if there was anything coming up, they would have spotted the Vickers, they would have spotted the STB, they could have rotated out quickly, knowing that A and B would have been relatively safe because there'd be -2 guns.
Exactly.
So, interesting call. But as you said, I mean, they didn't realise they were going to get a full team. So it may have been that somebody didn't want to go in a medium or something. I don't know.
I think that with today's meta, not taking a medium or a light doesn't even really matter which one, but you need to have at least one fast tank
No, I agree. I agree. You've
on
got
every
it.
map.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it earlier on Asia with, I think it was HLV, didn't take a medium or a light, and they were blind, absolutely blind. Nobody.
Yeah.
If you're blind, that's it. It's just not going to happen.
The only map where it would be like work, and that's not even in a rotation, I think would be that real.
No, that's
Because
probably,
then
yeah.
you can use the heavies to spot the middle.
Yes, you can with the gun depression, but yeah, you're right. It's not on the rotation, and with a map like Port Bay, where you know that there are, if anybody takes a medium or a light, you know almost immediately one of them is going to go over that creek into that corner to spot up anything going to sea, and that's exactly what Phoenix did with the Vickers.
And to be fair, it could have potentially worked had Imor pushed aggressively in the city, but they didn't.
Exactly, and that's the thing, that there was no sort of, wow, okay, they've got a couple of tanks up here, because they knew that the Vickers was there, because the Vickers fired a shot, and as soon as it fired, they would have realised there's a tank there, and then they would have seen Reaction X, because they did see Reaction X, so they know that there's 2 tanks up high. Cougar's in Amaunets. She could have pushed with the IS-4 into the city and made them rotate, but they seem to just hold back Imor. I don't know why.
I think they maybe expected Phoenix to push more aggressively, but I think... Oh, there's a new room already.
Absolutely.
But I think that it's... Phoenix played better than Imor expected, and Imor played, well, basically worse than we expected.
And probably more passively than what Phoenix expected. I think Phoenix, when they saw the mouse in the IS-4s, probably thought there was going to be a push through the A or the B cap, which is why they put Patrick down in the IS-7 to cover that corner on the A cap. And it just didn't come, which is why I think they pushed Reaction X into the C cap and then up to that troll position, spotting everybody up around that area.
That was absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see more like that. The only difference is that where Reaction X was, he was basically stuck there. And it's only because Imo started to push there that Imo lost there.
Well, that was the thing, as you said. I mean, at the end of the day, Reaction X being in that position did 2 things. Firstly, it spotted the IS-4, the E5, and to an extent the grill when it came round. It tempted Imor to push without realising that he had support right behind him. And they really got punished for their troubles. Yep. It was a great
I think they really
move.
just expected that it would be him and the Vickers. That's it.
That's what I think. I think you're right. And I think that's... It took them by surprise. And you could see MZA was desperately trying to get out of there. And he just couldn't get out of there. He had no choice but to drop down in the creek, which on that map is a death trap,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, really
By the
good
way, do
play
you
from
notice the
Phoenix.
map that we're going to go to?
We go to Castilla again.
Oh, this is actually just thinking about the commentating everything. It's just so much more relaxed though.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't have to make empty conversation. I don't have to point out everything myself. It's really nice.
Oh, there's my friend Jory. Hello, Jory. Wave a little flag. This is a big game for Veal. Let's be honest. It's a big game.
Let's see. I'm just going to have a quick look at the leaderboard. Where Veil is right now. Legion is in first place, so they're like solid top 8.
Yeah.
But Veil is in place 9 with 27,100 cups. And we are currently have in place 8 with 27,271 cups. We have Appa.
Yep.
So the better Veil does today in comparison to Appa, the more of a chance they have of actually making that top 8.
Absolutely, and in this, but this is the thing. I mean, this is a big game for Veal. It's a big game, and it's just unfortunate with the seeding that they've got Legion in the round of 16.
No, don't get me started on the seeding.
I'm not going to, because I mean, you have to be honest though. I mean, Legion have been looking red hot throughout this tour so far. They've dropped a little bit here and there, but they have been looking hot, and it's the reason why they're first.
Mm-hmm. Appa is actually up against Phoenix next.
Oh, that could be interesting then. That could be interesting.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I mean, Legion has a very luxurious position of needing to not worry at all.
Absolutely.
And for Veil, there's just a lot more riding on this.
There is, yes. But look at that lineup for Legion. What a selection.
Yeah, but this Legion is going for more mobile and aggressive gameplay, I think, this time around with those 4 E5s, the 2 T22s, and the 268, because she can make a very aggressive push with that.
Oh, absolutely. And where they're spawning from, it allows them to do that from that spawn. And, I mean, looking at Veal, Veal's got a bit of mobility with the Vickers in there of Bushka J.
Yeah, but now it took an FE4005.
I was just about to get to that. It's an interesting one.
Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the shitborn. It's fantastic. But it's definitely not competitive.
Not really. And you're against Legion. And, I mean, Nara Assassin, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, fantastic player. And I have every faith. Legion. But it's Legion, guys. I mean, I would have expected a 268.
They are taking 4 E5s as well, and the Vickers and IS4 along with that 405. But the shitborn is not called that for. It's called that for a reason. It is enormous. It can be seen from space.
Absolutely. And it's going to be an interesting strat. I'm interested to see what Naro Assassin does with that, to be honest.
I'm actually attached to him as like a starting point, so I'm just going to stick with him a little bit and see what he does. But that's just so weird though. I mean, like I said, I absolutely do love the tank. I have an abysmal win rate in it and all of that, but I'm just having so much fun with it.
Oh, it's a great tank. It's a fun tank, don't get me wrong, it is a fun tank. But
not tournaments.
Not Legion.
No, definitely not.
not when you need to win games when you're in the position that Veal are in, and that's the thing.
He's overlooking base C. He's not even in a bush. I think they're not expecting necessarily Juicy there, but they are expecting someone there. Base A, on the other hand, is pretty much undetected.
Well, Zerd and Bushka J are just tussling each other, but Elysium and Jory and the E5s are coming round to look at base A, but there's only Zerd there at the moment. Oh no, Thomas, Radicoso and NG are coming in now.
They see the Vickers run. I think they know that he's not going to be alone by now. Not with the mobility. That was an HE shot at the T22.
Wow.
By Shapey.
I don't know if Object 3 is trying to get up there and struggling or just holding back for the moment.
Oof. A little bit of damage being done places. Base A is now being kept. It is relatively unprotected.
Yeah, and Bushka J has come out of there.
Radicals is just pushing Elysium. Not necessarily, I think, to actually get at Elysium, but more like to safely get base A.
Juicy has now been spotted, however.
Ooh, that's
By
interesting.
Bushka J has spotted him.
But they are running away, though.
They are, but they've got base A now, and they've got Thomas and Radicoso to sit there. NG is probably going to drop out of there. Zerd is getting out of there completely and rotating round.
Yeah, but now they have the advantage. All they need to do is keep them from getting base B.
Absolutely.
Even if they manage to grab base C somehow, it doesn't matter because they have the advantage.
Well, Shap is putting HE into Eggy, and Eggy doesn't mind. And the T-22 there.
No, because that's the thing. I've noticed that before. When it comes to decapping, HE is very useful. But when you're like taking tiny bits of damage, you're basically keeping that enemy from shooting anyone else in your team.
Absolutely. Now, Zerd has now joined Juicy. That's an interesting one. Object 3 is rotating.
Vil is very aware that there's tanks in that corner.
But they don't know where Object 3 is in the 268, and that's got to be a concern for them.
Juicy getting spotted, but safely behind that little hill. Naro, I don't think he's managed to get any shot in so far.
No, not at the moment.
I'm really curious how that FE is going to perform at the end of the battle. Well, he did fire a shot now.
He did, but he didn't. It didn't land.
No.
I mean, he should be able to get shot into Juicy, maybe. But Juicy is hauled out. No, he gets another one across. But Juicy is hauled down, and those turrets are pretty hard in the E5.
And now we see that Juicy's actually firing blind shot at the original position Naro was in.
Well, Narrow's had to drop down just in case. So at the moment, Vale are on the back foot here. In the way that Legion have positioned themselves, it makes it pretty difficult for Vale to do anything.
It is, again, stalemate gaming, but it's very classy gameplay by Legion here, with them grabbing that base and then just basically trolling and holding. They don't need to do anything.
No, exactly. And they're just, I mean, NG, Radicoso and Thomas are just baiting Elysium and Jory, realistically.
Yeah, and now we have Naro moving at the back. I think Vil will have to make a push at A. They have to because they need to grab that specific base, otherwise they're not going to win.
Well, we've got Ventium
the thing
and
is, you have
there
Object
as well.
3.
Well, they haven't seen Object, and that's the thing. That's got to be a concern for them.
No, but they know he's going to be supporting the guys at the Citadel.
Well, they do, but they don't know where he's going to be. Is he going to be on the hill, or is he going to be in the corner? But Kurvets and Ventium are pushing in.
Very carefully, wanting to remain unspotted, but at the same time not really...
Look at Object 3, anticipating it with the move. Thomas gets a shot in Elysium coming round as well.
Ooh, this is going to be very expensive for Vil HP-wise. Especially since they're not committing.
Oh,
now
Object 3 lands it onto Ventium.
Ventium basically in a death trap here.
Yeah, Zerd has come round again as well to put shots in. Oh, Ventium really getting hurt.
Not going to survive for very long here.
Kiravet's trying to
take...
to take the pressure off, but it's not there. Ventium, I think Object 3 is going to just focus him now.
But look at this. Vil is risking everything to grab base A and Legion just casually grab base C.
Yeah, exactly.
Ventium is gone. They did grab base A, but they're not going to get away with it.
Kiravets is going to go
Thomas is not
down.
going to survive it, but it doesn't matter because...
There we go. Thomas has gone down.
There goes Yori as well.
And there goes Yori. Zerd is looking dangerous.
Yeah, but he's pulling back.
And Egg is
Ooh, Elysium sat on fire.
Oh, really? Oh, so he is.
Poor guy.
And NG comes
there
in
goes
takes
Peterfets.
Yeah, I mean, that was NG getting a good shot into Kuravets. And there goes Elysium. Naro
GC as well has been taken out. But now, they're not even attempting to grab
he's on his long reload. I mean, Naro's on his long reload. He was always going to go down there. I mean,
and now they're grabbing base A. And even with base C being... Oh! Did you see that?
Oh, I did. That was massive.
Massive hit. I was a bit far away, but that was a very massive hit. Object 3 is just casually. I mean, he has the HP. He doesn't need to...
What's amazed me is Object 3's awareness during this battle has been spectacular. I I mean, poor Bushka J's going to go down. That's always going to happen. And Shappy is the last man standing. But, I mean, when you were looking at Object 3, I mean, he went to the hill and then he rotated
They
back.
still get him.
Oh, they still got him, yeah. I mean, Object 3 went to the hill, went to the back, went back to the normal TD spot, went back to the hill, anticipated the push, oddly enough, back to the hill, and boy, did he do some damage. And then he manages to rotate round and really give Bushka J a hard time in the Vickers Light.
But that's the thing, though. That is the level that Legion is at. Like, not just as a team, but also as individual players. Because they're at the level where you have general directions for your team captain, as in, we're going to start this or that way, and we're going to push now, or we're going to hold now and pull back now, or whatever. But I think that by now, a lot of Legion isn't really commanded anymore. They trust each other to know what they need to do, where they need to be.
But, I mean, the thing is, I mean, look at their positioning there. Okay, they took the C cap, they took the A cap, and then just backed away, but left 3 tanks there to bait Vale. Effectively. And then they had Juicy overlooking the C cap, and then they had the 2 T-22s at some stage overlooking the B cap. Vale had nowhere to go.
Exactly. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch. And as you rightly said, Vale then decided, oh, we'll push the A cap. They pushed it, allowing Legion to just say, okay, we'll take the C cap. Thank you.
Yeah, and that was just troll because you could literally see the confusion in Vale's tactics after that. The team, like, we need to move, we need to do something. Well, if they had actually stayed together, they would have had more of a chance. I'm not going to say they would have won because Legion was on point position-wise and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But they would have had more of a chance if they had not spread out that much.
So we're seeing a change in the meta from Vale. What do you think of that? So we now got AMX50B and a 268, oddly enough.
That is interesting though, because one AMX50B generally does not make enough difference.
Yeah, that's why I asked. You're right. I mean, you've gone from one autoloader to another autoloader. It's again, I can't really see where they're going to stick it to have any effect.
I mean, last time on Vineyards, we saw a beautiful combination of an AMX50B together with a Batchat, but there was still 2 autoloaders working together. An autoloader on its own is not going to be able to take a tank out.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an interesting call by Vale.
They're also focusing on the C side with only just 2 mats, probably to really just spot and keep a spotted and a citadel. I think they're hoping to get crossfire lines, but I don't think Legion is stupid enough to stay in them.
Juicy and NG there in the IS-4s toying around. I mean, Egg is probably going to spot them up, and he does. And he gets spotted himself, but he gets some good spots in first. Oh, that's
and there we go,
good
crossfire.
Shot by Bushka J.
Blind fire as well. Expecting Eggy to still be there. But now Legion already knows where half the team is from Vale.
Absolutely, and you can see that in the way they're moving their E5s.
Oh, Thomas has been spotted. They don't know about the rest of them yet, though. But I do feel for Jorge and Elysium.
Yeah. I mean, Bushka
Their IS-4s are... Ooh, Kirovets.
Oh, they're shooting across the map because you've just got Eggy lighting them all up.
Mm-hmm. And now we have the A5s pushing Jorge. Jorge dropping down, but losing a lot of HP just doing that.
1400!
And Zerd is
going with him! Zerd is gone with him.
One... He's going to drown you. Oh, never mind.
No, Zerd wanted the kill.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but
now
Zerd's
Elysium,
going to stay alive here.
Elysium is very isolated here.
Yeah, but we also have Shapey in the middle being pushed by NG and Juicy.
Absolutely.
So that's not going to last long either.
North Kurovets
Elysium is on his own.
Oh, Eggy gets a good shot into Jory. Kurovets was trying to relieve the pressure on Shapey, but it's not worked. NG and Juicy are just going to be able to take this.
And NG face-hugging Shapey just until Shapey has actually bounced on his turret. This is... Ooh, Eggy. getting very hurt, but taking the shot because he knows he can risk it because there's nothing to lose for him here.
And Joris trying to get shots in, and he's got to be worried about Juicy coming around in the IS4. I mean,
And Angie now pushing Kirovets. Having been spotted. At this point, Kirovets knows he basically is effed.
Yeah,
He can't really do anything. He's going to get shot either way. There he goes.
They're trying to push an Object 3 with Tasting Killer in the E5, but Thomas is still there. You need Elysium to try and... Yeah, Elysium does. Ventium is now fully loaded in the AMX.
Yeah, but he has to make every shot count.
He does
and
indeed.
Even then, it's not going to be enough.
Look at this. Zerd is now coming back in. Juicy is done some fantastic stuff. Jory's gone down to Juicy and the rest.
Thomas isn't even paying attention to him. He's just ignoring him.
They want Elysium gone.
Casually taking out Tasting Killer.
That was Juicy. Ventium and
Elysium
Eggy.
bouncing.
Ventium needs to make this last shot count, and he does. But NG coming in, he's going to really hurt him. Now avoiding Elysium. They're not even interested in Elysium in the T22.
They're just so mean. Bullies.
There goes Ventium. Now they can focus on Elysium, and there he goes. I mean, this is why Legion have been so hot this tour.
Seriously, they're my favorites for this whole season, and that's not just because I like watching the way they play, but just the level of gameplay that they have. I don't really see that in any other team right now, even in the top 4.
Well, no, let's be honest.
The big 4, basically.
Yeah.
Have all... we have this saying in Dutch, which literally translates to dropped stitches. That's not really what it means, but yeah. But basically just making mistakes that you wouldn't expect from a top 4 team.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, okay, so VL have just dropped out of the top 8, but effectively they've been a top 8 team for majority of this tour. That was a walk in the park for Legion. I hate to say that. I love Vale. I think they're a great bunch of guys. They're lovely chaps, and they've got so much potential. But that really was a stroll for Legion.
But I have to say that if we did not have those 100% one battle accounts that are rigging the matchmaker, the seeding basically, for some teams, giving them easier matchmaking like APA,
yeah,
then this would have been a very different picture.
I totally agree. But even so, Vale have to meet them at some stage, be it this or be it in the Pro Series. And, you know, I love Elysium. He's got so much experience and he's so great. But that would worry me that Legion would be able to walk us over just like that. And that's a concern.
Yeah, but that's a difference because I do believe that Vale is a top 8 skill team. They're just not a top 4 skill team.
I don't disagree with you. I'm glad you put it that way because, yeah, I agree with that. And they've got work to do to get to top 4. And you're right. I think they are a top 8. But they've got to work a bit harder to get to top 4. And they've certainly got the potential. I mean, they're a lovely team to watch when they're on the day. They really are. And they're, like I said, they're a great bunch of guys. And Elysium is got oodles of experience. And, you know, I really like watching Veal. You know, I fly a flag for them all the time because they're like the plucky underdog. Although I'm trading flags between them and Win at the moment.
Yeah, but Win is pretty steady in their top 8 space.
Yeah, they are. But that there just goes to show the differential between top 4 and top 8.
Ooh, by the way, what we are not seeing right now is Loka versus Raid.
Oh, that's a good point, yes.
We are up against Legion and Lux Novum next. You have Appa versus Immo, Mercy versus EG.
Ooh.
And we have the other team from Mercy versus either Loka or Raid. So that's going to be interesting. Just going to have a quick look if we know anything about the matches yet.
Yeah, well, Lux Novum, that is.
Oh, no, that was a 2-0 for Raid.
Oh, really?
So that's interesting because looking at the leaderboard, Loka is currently placed 6th.
Yeah.
So that might be a challenge for them later on. Right now, they still have a bit of an advantage, but not consistently not reaching the top 8 is going to be an issue, and that has everything to do with the matchmaking as well. These teams
Yeah.
should not be meeting each other in
No.
the top 16 fights yet, so to speak.
Well, taking on to that, I mean, Appa are through. They turned over Phoenix 2-0, and they're up against Immol next. So
Yeah, and that's the main IMO.
it is the main Immol, but that will give Appa a bit of a better lead over Veal, which is the concern for
Exactly.
Veal there.
So let's see. We are up in. I look at the time and then I forget to look at the time, but it's like only 10
15
minutes before we get a room invite. So
Yeah, 10 minutes.
we
for
can either
kickoff.
show one of the replays that we collected, or we can just
absolutely.
talk.
Which one do you want to show? I don't mind.
I think the one from Yoku, because that's actually a tournament game that he sent in, and I think that's a fun one to watch.
Yoku, the Normandy one in the E3.
Yes, that one.
Okay, ready when you are.
Okay, I'm just starting it now.
There we go. So this is M8 versus Sister. Oh, okay. This was the other day. I guess. Remember that.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Crap.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm exiting.
Okay, we'll exit.
It wasn't Yoku, it was Libra. That's what I was. He changed his name. It's the same guy. It's just a different name. That's why I got confused. Let's see, Lyra. There you are.
Which tank?
You don't actually see it in the name, but this is the E3 game on Normandy.
Normandy
There you
E3. There we go. Okay, so
Yeah.
when you're ready.
Okay, I'll just. I'll pause it when it's at 0, then we can start it at the same moment.
Okay.
But yeah, this was actually a tournament game from last Sunday.
Yes, I watched this match. I believe I've seen this match. I don't know who streamed
Oh,
it.
okay.
Or was it me? I think it was me
Okay.
who streamed it.
I got it paused at the moment that it says battle.
Yeah. Okay. So we ready? So
Okay.
3, 2, 1, press.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
There we go.
I
They're
think I
talking about-
streamed I streamed this game. I think.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen it yet, so I was very curious to see. I mean, I've seen the end result screenshots, so I know that something is epic. But I'm very curious to see how we got to that point.
Oh, it's a great game, I must admit. And I did get told off by it's Taste the Bomb, and I got told off by Taste the Bomb. I'm sorry, Taste the Bomb.
What did you say it was then?
Test the bomb.
Yeah.
So I do apologize. I did
Yeah, but
apologize.
That's their own fault for using vowels instead of for using numbers instead of vowels.
It gets me all the time, and I keep telling everybody I'm the worst pronunciator of names. I'm sorry, guys. I do apologize every time.
I do have to admit, I do sometimes hear you say name and like what?
Exactly. I keep regaling everybody. When I first streamed Winter War, I called Agile Hippo Angry Hippie. It's just my fault.
I remember that when E7 was trolling with all the names.
Yeah, Maddox, yeah.
Yes, that. But also the time before, they have an Harry Bowles. But they have a bunch of people with questionable names like that. Let's put it that
Yes,
way.
they did. Yes, I remember that.
Right now, by the way, he's getting some nice shots in. He's basically being ignored. Getting behind quarters of the ice force here. Basically, this is his big brawl.
Yeah, it was, and but it was interesting to watch how SYS did this, and I thought that's going to hurt.
It reminds me of a game. I'm not sure who it was, but it was also one team pushing and somehow expecting the other team. I think it was Legion that was being pushed against. That they somehow thought that Legion would like get away with that, or would not let them. Would let them get away with it or something. This is similar. It's a very aggressive game, but I understand why he's getting all the shots in now. Because he's being ignored. They're not taking him seriously. I think it's a big mistake.
And at one stage you saw, I mean, when I was streaming it, I saw the push of the IS-4s of SYS coming through the middle. And at one stage they looked like they may have had the upper hand. But then you say, I mean, he just comes in Libra and just annihilates everybody basically.
I always like when you see stuff like that because on one side you have the TD that has a long reload, but this shows how dangerous it is to ignore a specific kind of tank.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I've seen a lot of E3s making a showing in the tour this season because it's a different tank with its new consumables.
It's also underestimating the turning time of an E3
Oh,
is also a
absolutely.
dangerous thing.
Absolutely.
But just look at this. Look at the damage he ranked up in such a short amount of
Yes.
time.
Yep. And look at Taste the Bomb. I mean, he's very healthy. Nobody focused him either, really.
And not in some way, that's a good thing because it's like you need to focus fire, so them not shooting every single tank is a good thing. But this was like
Oh yeah,
massacre.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I remember watching it, and it was interesting to watch. And Libra coming in doing just over 7,000 damage in a tour, and this was a top tour. This wasn't a quick tour. It was
No,
a
exactly.
proper tour.
But also just like you see that the tanks that got ignored the most dealt massive damage here.
Absolutely, really good to watch. It's good. It's nice to re-watch it from the player's perspective because you very rarely see that
Yeah.
when you're streaming it, of course. So
Yeah, exactly. I always like that because as when you're streaming a game and you have like the bird's eye view, you see everything. So you're not aware of what the teams don't see. You can guess, but you don't actually know. And when you see
Yeah.
it like this, it just goes to show it. Now, in this case, it didn't really matter because it was just like all out brawl, but
But even so, it's still interesting to see it from his point of view. To think, well, why is no one shooting me? And because when you, as you say, when you're in the bird's eye view, you don't see everything. You see a little bit on the periphery, but not everything. And
sorry. Someone in my chat just said, what's the difference between a literalist and a kleptomaniac? The literalist takes the things literally, and the kleptomaniac takes the things literally.
interesting. You get some interesting comments.
I absolutely love it. I'm basically there's some forms of humor I like more than most, and puns and stuff like that is definitely one of them. Absolutely love it.
Oh, it's. I mean, I don't get things like that in my chat. They don't come out with stuff like that in my chat. I wish they did. So, guys in my chat, come out with some puns. I'm missing out
Yeah,
here.
but you send them all to my place. That's the whole problem.
That is the thing. There's hardly anybody in my chat, but there are a couple. But Kerfuffles is here, but he's switching. He's got both of us on. So
Oh, bless him. That would basically kill me if I did that, I think.
Kerfuffles does it all the time. He has basically 3 devices running because he doesn't like missing out, and he watches all of us. He's a solid spectator like that.
In the meantime, Marisol thinks you're nervous around me.
Who, me?
Am I making you nervous?
Me? Nervous? No, not in the slightest.
No, exactly.
I'm more nervous about screwing up the commentary rather than anything else. It's not nervous around Amaunets, I can tell you that for a fact. I've known Ladybug for a while now.
That's also something about commentating together. It makes things more flow better.
Yeah, it does.
So actually, I think you make less mistakes commentating. The only thing that I find right now that is a little bit messing me up is because I have massive concentration and focus problems. That I'm having a little bit of issue with handling the camera and listening to you.
Yeah, I mean,
because normally I just have to talk.
Yeah, I mean that can be off-putting because obviously you're looking at probably something different to what I'm looking at. So yeah, it can be off-putting, but that's not because of what you're going through. Trust me, it's the same at this end because I'm hearing what things that you're looking at, and well, this is why we say it's why we want to control the cameras.
Exactly.
For that reason, because we all see different things and we see different pushes in different scenarios. So yeah, it's more nerves about that because obviously we're doing a coordinated commentary stream here, and as much as it doesn't take as much concentration as such, it takes different amounts and different types of concentration.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's fantastic because, as you say, oh, there's the room, because you can have a chin wag in between everything, and that's fantastic.
Exactly. It's just in that way, like I said, it's just a lot more smooth now, and I like it.
Yeah, and you get to talk. It's like I said, when you're doing it on your own, you sort of speak after the game and sort of point things out, and you second guess yourself. Am I being too harsh? Was that really a bad move? Was that really this? But when you get to
Oh no,
bounce
no,
off
I
people,
never
it's
have that
fantastic.
problem.
No, well, no. But when you're with somebody
I'm
else, you get to bounce these things off each
yeah,
other, which is fantastic.
that's very true. I generally have this. The Dutch are blunt by nature, and that's something that I feel that I definitely have myself as well. So I try to like not necessarily water down my opinion, but say it more civilly than the way I'm actually thinking it.
Oh
But
no,
when it comes
I'm
to
the same.
tournament games, you basically either a team wins because of something they did,
Yeah.
or the other team loses because of something they did. But most often it's because they do something and that's why they lose.
Yes. Yeah. And I was trying to explain that to some of the guys on the Asian server earlier because they were watching one game, and they said, "Oh, they're playing like 40%ers." I was trying to explain, guys, it's we're sat here and we can see things that they can't see, and you have to remember they have a strat and they have somebody calling, and it's a lot harder than people think to play at this level.
In the meantime, we have Object 3 that was sitting in the middle in the Keniotsu.
Don't tell me you've just been out of
That,
Kenny, seriously?
that's a silent salute to me generally because
Oh, yeah, because you do like the
the Kenny
Kenny.
is my go-to tank if teams have been especially bad. I just go seal club a few rounds in the Kenny
Oh,
and
why not?
exactly. But that also means that I have over 1k battles in it.
I haven't got anywhere near that in my Kenny, bless it.
To be fair, I have like I'm near 35k battles now, so it's only a small percentage of the total
Oh,
games.
absolutely, absolutely. But it
But
is a
it's just
fun
it's a
tank.
funny tank.
It's a fun tank. It is a
Not
fun
anymore
tank.
though, to be honest. The
No,
Kenny,
yeah,
basically it's not necessarily been nerfed, but because everything around it has been buffed, it sucks now.
it does. I mean, it's okay. It's still got the broken gun, but oh dear,
It
the
can't pen
armor.
anything.
No, exactly. It can't pen, and it's got the armor is not. Everybody else can pen it, and oh, it's just a
The
shadow of its
regular Kenny
former
is
broken
much more
self.
stronger now. Yeah,
But it's still a fun tank to go out in.
yeah. Especially since it's pretty much the rarest tank in the game, and if you can imagine, that tank was sold for only €5 at the time.
I know, how crazy was that? And I'm surprised I've still got one. But yeah, it does make a showing, especially in live streams when doing countings. It does make a showing.
In the meantime, we see Lux Novum has read up in 2 IS4s, 2 Object 140s, and 3 E5s. Object 140s are tanks we don't generally see a lot of, with
No.
reason to be fair. They're perfect as brawlers, so if you want to make a somewhat aggressive push, then they really work out. But they don't really have the gun depression, so I'm not sure how well they're
No.
going to work on Desert Sands.
It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, you're right. I mean, I would have thought if they had Vickers would have been a better call, but who knows? I mean, they are on the North Spawn, but looking at Legion, I mean, that's an expected meta lineup, I think, from Legion.
Yeah. 2 T22 mediums, Vickers, 2 E5s, IS4, and a 2 and 5B. So enough to hold the city and enough to push the desert.
Absolutely.
That's one of those confusing lineups because you generally don't know where they're going to go with it.
Absolutely. But I think, I mean, I'm interested to see what the Object 140s do there, to be honest with you. Maybe they're
It can work out, but I think versus the T22 mediums, the Object 140s don't have that much of a chance.
No, that's the thing. I mean, and you're gonna have Eggy and the Vickers like running around like a crazy thing, spotting everybody up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Lux Novum is going to have a bit of a pickle here, I think. I
Thinking,
do honestly like that the E5 has become way more competitive than it used to be.
yeah, but isn't a certain person in Legion very susceptible to ammo wrecks in the E5?
Oh, who?
Who is it? Somebody gets ammo wreck quite a lot and complains about it. I think was it Iggy? I can't remember.
I don't know. But here we go. And now we have two Juicies. If we're talking about Juicy, it's Juicy from Legion.
Yeah.
The other one is the Juicy dude.
Yes.
Oh, that chat. And Legion pushing into the desert as pretty much expected, with only Juicy going towards the middle, and that's probably just to make sure that they don't cap base B as well.
And as
And
expected,
Eggy's running around it.
there you go. With the 222s coming in support, and Madar and Jesus Dude may get unstuck here.
Some lines of fire happening, a little bit of damage being chipped away. Juicy pushing into the middle because we know that everyone from Lux Nova is in the middle.
Dude gets a bit of a smacking there. Hannibal Dude is being quite aggressive towards these T22s.
I think that they're underestimating what Legion is capable of. They're now basically pushing themselves in a spot where they can be massively massacred if Legion would decide to push.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Object 3 and Zerd there, just bringing those tanks, the Object 140s, onto their big guns of the E5s.
Juicy Dude taking quite a bit of hits there. They don't even care at this point that they cap base A because it doesn't matter. They're just chipping away the health.
Absolutely. And you can see, I mean, Juicy of Legion in the IS-4 hit is just waiting for them to come on to him.
Thomas taking quite a bit of hit here, but now Legion is just pushing in.
Yeah.
But also not quite committing to it, so that could be dangerous because now Thomas and Angie are in trouble.
Well, Thomas definitely
Thomas
in
is not
trouble.
going to survive this.
No.
There he goes. But there goes Edelman Dude as well.
Vanessa K is trying to relieve the pressure on NG. But I don't think it's going to help.
Angie getting tracked is not going to help either.
No.
He does get another hit in, but both teams have lost two guns. Now, HP-wise, it's very close, though.
It is, but now the Falcon Dude is quite isolated. Oh, good shot into Animal Dude in the 140 there by Zerd.
Yeah,
Animal
but now,
Dude,
basically, he sacrificed himself here.
Yeah.
There's no way that he can survive this. Juice is not going to
Juicy.
survive this
No,
either,
he's
though. There
not.
it goes. It goes up pretty evenly. Could be interesting to see who actually wins this. Oh, Object 3 taking hits that he really did not need to.
Falcon Dude is a one shot now, but there goes Juicy Dude.
Zerd turning around to take him out. And now it's definitely Legion's game. Too many guns.
Yeah. They're just going to focus on the Pixel Shoot Dude.
They're not even focus firing at this stage, they're just shooting.
There goes Pixel Dude. Just old school dude left. And there we go. Again.
With the flying birds.
Again, it looked like maybe Legion were on the back foot, but again, no.
Seeing a lot of positive comments, by the way, about us commentating together, so that's nice.
That is nice. Thank you. I don't see the comments, unfortunately. But again, I mean, Legion seemed to take that in its stride. It was, it looked like they weren't taking it overly seriously, to be fair.
Honestly, they were not. You can see that
Yeah.
when they're playing this not careful.
Absolutely. And
This was a tiny bit YOLO from Legion.
But again, they got the job done, and that's what they intend to do. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, Lux Nova, don't get me wrong, they played well there, but at the end of the day,
it's Legion.
It's Legion. they're just on fire at the moment.
Very different lineup on Lux Nova's side though now, with 4 IS4s, 2 113s, and a 140, and this is something I'm safe to bet on. That's not going to help them.
No.
The 113s do have the DPM, but they do not have the armor.
No. And
They're actually basically, when you see them in tournaments, they're always focused first because they're the easiest to take out.
Yeah. And Legion haven't changed at all.
No, but they don't need to. It works fine for them. A little bit of
Absolutely.
full armor,
Absolutely.
lots of DPM.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, I love the 113. I love the 113 now. I used to hate it, and then Yori 12 took me to one side and gave me some tips, and I love the tank now. But you are right. I mean, okay, it does have the ability to bounce. It is very good haul down, but it's got such a slow turret turn that, you just get a medium tank near you and they can wipe you out, realistically.
And it's a tournament game, so you know that the
Yeah,
people that you're going to be up against are that much more skillful than the ones you meet in pub battles.
absolutely.
And here we go. Countdown clock. And let's see. Because I think we're going to have a similar battle as last time, just a big brawl in the desert.
Looks that way. I mean, as we said, Legion haven't even changed their meta. They same lineup.
Yeah. Let's see. And again, Juicy going towards the middle.
But
Oh, and now we
bit of a
see
different
actually
strat
Lux
from-
Novum doing something
yeah.
entirely different.
That's surprising. They are. I mean, good use of the WZs though. Drop them into the C cap and side scrape, make them come round. However, the A cap is not guarded.
And we see some crossfire already as they cross over the train tracks. Base A. Basically, Legion will have a slight point advantage. Like split second slight.
But it's still an advantage. And Eggy,
Exactly.
again, running around the map like a crazy fool. Trying to get those spots in that Vickers. And he has. He's spotted up the Airman dude. What a spot from back there.
Basically, all they need to do now is wait for Lux Novum to make the mistakes and to try and push B. Thing is that the positioning in the city is a lot worse than the positioning in the desert.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I find that with the city, you've really got to cap C immediately. And you've got to get that advantage and force the other team to push on you. If the other team get the
Exactly.
advantage, in the city you're very contained because there's nowhere to break out.
Exactly. By the way, I'm still waiting for the time when one of the players from either team summons the worm.
Yes, that would
I
be
want
good.
to show you it in a tournament battle.
Oh, it's looking
That's
like
the
they're going
name
to
of
push
the
into
worm, by the way.
B. Really?
He's from the Dune franchise.
They are going to push into B.
Yeah, but they're going to lose a heck lot of HP doing that. Oh no, they're not pushed. They're pushing into the desert.
Wow.
I think that Legion is weak there.
They
I
got
think they
Thomas.
massively underestimated them. We have Eggy facing off against the animal dude. He's not going to be long for this world.
No, and we got Object 3 and NG taking on the two IS4s while the others push on to Zerd and Thomas.
There are a lot of
Oh,
low
Airman's
HP
gone.
targets, but basically we
That's
have
a
a lot
good
of
move by
crossfire
Object
happening.
3 though, completely ignoring the IS4 and trying to get the old school dude out who's pushing on Zerd, leaving him on a one shot. Oh no, Zerd doesn't get him.
Angie the first, Legion gun gone, Thomas the second, but it's taken them 3 guns in
Yeah.
order to take out 2. Well, 4 guns in order to take out 2. Eggy, is still alive.
Juice.
Pixels is not going to be... There he
Oh,
goes.
there he goes. And now we got
And
Juicy
now
coming
you
in
have-
on the other Juicy. It's Juicy on Juicy.
This is a very juicy battle.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's actually really nice, though. What they're saying in the chat and
It
all.
is. That is good.
I like it.
Just the Falcon
But I
dude
think
left.
that Lux Novum will have totally known that they weren't going to win this.
Yeah. Again, another stroll in the park for Legion.
But kudos to Lux Novum, they did really try. And I think that
Yeah.
it's basically them going completely YOLO into the desert that cost them this game. Had they been more patient, it might have been different.
It may have been, but even with the push into the desert, you've got to give kudos to the likes of Zerd, Object 3. Okay, NG and Thomas went down, but Zerd in Object 3 and the T-22s running around and plugging those gaps. I mean, Object 3 dishing out some massive damage against those IS-4s in the desert. Really good stuff again. I mean, the difference in the gameplay is just unbelievable. Sometimes it's just beautiful to watch. It really is.
Yeah. Ooh, do you know who we have next?
No, but let's find out.
Legion versus EG!
Oh, DG.
I mean, it's not going to be serious gameplay because at this stage they they don't care, and they're right not to care because they're in the top 8.
Absolutely.
But it's always fun to see these guys because you still, even when they're not taking it seriously, you have a whole different skill level.
But you're right. I mean, they're both quite secure, but there's still rivalry between the two clans to an extent.
Yeah, so they want to win, but they don't want to die hard win.
That's the point. Yeah, I mean, they want to win, but they don't want to die hard win, and it's going to be an interesting. It's always an interesting matchup, Legion against Endgame. It's always worth the watch, and everybody wants to see that type of battle. But
in the meantime,
who else got through into the semi?
Raid massacred Mercy. So we're just waiting for Immo versus Appa.
Yeah, well, Raid did. Yeah, 2-0. That knocks Mercy down one, and Immo are still with Appa. Yeah. Appa
so let's see. We have 15 minutes.
Well, Appa will be looking to turn over Immo to cement their place in the top 8 a bit further.
Yeah, but they're not really well liked, so I think that Immo will give it a roll.
Probably, yes. There is that.
There's this game called Patapon that I really love. But at some point, one of the characters there is saying, "Spank them bottoms." And that's basically what I'm hoping Immo is doing.
and no doubt Immo will be trying to do that, yes.
Yeah. So shall we pop in another replay then?
Absolutely. Which one do you think?
Well, we have one from Fallen.
Z22.
I don't know. I think it is, but I don't see the tag name in the replay time.
If it's Fallen, Fallen. I've got Fallen up. Looks like it's T22.
I always like showing off replays from people that are in the clan that we are following.
It's Legion, yes.
Yes.
So
I'll open it and again pause it at the point that it says battle, and then we can start. Yeah, it's T22.
I'll just wait till it gets to the battle part.
I don't understand why people caps lock their whole name.
No.
Enemy E3. It's like they're shouting.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, it says battle for me now.
Okay, so we go in 3, 2, 1, press.
There you go.
And you're right, it's always nice to see somebody who have a replay of somebody who's playing in the tour at the moment that you're following. It's always good.
That's generally what I always do. I remember that when I was streaming mainly RTK, like 2 seasons ago, I would literally they made me a channel on their Discord at the time to basically collect replays from them.
Oh, excellent. So
that was really nice because basically it just shows that these guys are not just good in tournaments, they're good at everything, everywhere.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, they are, and this is the other thing. I mean, a lot of people, you see the mistakes that the guys make in the tournaments from time to time, forgetting that actually, going up against these guys in game, that they're absolutely unstoppable sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But also that's something to keep in mind. Sometimes the mistakes that are made in tournaments are made on purpose.
Yes.
Because Zerd is a prime example of that, by the way. Also, when he was RTK, he was the caller, and he would generally be in positions where he would be brutally massacred, but that would win them the game.
Yeah, this is the other thing that people don't tend to realise who don't play these sort of high-level tours. Sometimes they sacrifice tanks for reasons. So you may think, oh, that's a stupid position, he's a fool for going there. But it's the call.
Yeah, but they occupy the enemy, they basically draw the fire. Especially in troll tanks like the IS-4 and everything, that works really well.
Oh,
and he's just farming here.
Oh, he is. I mean, and he's in a T22 as well.
Yeah.
And he's dropped the adrenaline. And he's given the AMX-50 a really hard time. There goes the AMX.
Pay-to-win tank.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it is a pay-to-win tank, but in this case it wouldn't matter because he's in a beautiful position to just farm.
Absolutely. And that poor grill is just going to be absolutely mullered.
Wants to get a shot in the grill. And then he bounces off.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh,
Sheridan presents target instead.
Yeah. Trying to run off.
Look how quickly he's done 5,000 damage. Unbelievable.
And just casual. He just makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
The corpse of that tank is in the way. I mean, there's only 2 tanks left on his side. And then
What a
are these?
shot! Unbelievable!
Oh, beautiful.
How on earth did he thread that through? I mean, that's fantastic.
That is absolutely beautiful. You're like a tiny split second before me.
Oh, am I? Oh, I don't know why.
Doesn't matter. Probably split second between us pressing play. But this is like, use Premo!
Yeah.
Oh god, okay, it doesn't matter. This E100 is way too eager though.
Absolutely. Especially exposing your bottom plate like that. It's not going to help. But look at the Sheridan. Forget the E100. Oh, and he gets
there
the
he
Sheridan.
goes.
There you go. Oh, what a bounce.
This is the power of the T22. This is why the tank is pretty much pay to win. But literally the E100 is his biggest threat.
Yeah.
Because the other one is an E3, so that won't have a turret. That bounce though! That is exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you those bounces like that are just massive. They're game changers. Another big bounce coming up, I think. Yep, there you go.
Oof, yeah.
And now the E3, bless him. The way he turns on the E3, unbelievable.
But he has to be careful, he got really...
And he tracks the E3. Oh,
and another bounce. Aww.
Oh, yes, the
Oh,
100.
bless.
But 7,800 damage in such a short amount of time, really. Fantastic game. Would have been better if his IS-4 and Sheridan would have dealt some damage, methinks.
Yeah, just a bit. But that was a beautiful game.
It was. Just having. What time are we out? I've forgotten.
I think 35, so I think... I'm always going to check because I don't trust my memory.
36. 36, yeah. So we've still got 16 odd minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still got 15 minutes.
What else should we show? We have the game from... which was it? The Tomb Carry. Oh no, actually no. I want the... I want to show that... I need to look at the name of the guy. The 7K 7 kills, definitely. That's the replay, definitely.
Ooh, which one's that?
Shall we show
Definitely not
that?
Pro.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hopefully it's a Progetto.
It is.
There we go then. So I'll get to the... wait for it to go to battle. And,
I do absolutely love the legendary camo on this thing.
I think it's fantastic when they brought in legendary camos. I think it's great. And I know every good name is taken is annoyed that they haven't brought one in for the Hellcat. Hey, give it time.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm ready
then.
when you are.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, press. But it does. It looks a mean tank in this legendary camo. Does the Progetto.
There's only a few legendary camos I don't like. I don't like the one on the E100. I think that's quite boring.
It's just black.
Yeah. And I don't
boring.
like the one on the STB. STB is so pretty. It deserves to look pretty. And this is not a pretty camo.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm in two minds of the STB. I like the STB. I think the camo looks... It's okay, but it could be better. You're right. It could be better.
That E6 is way too aggressive.
Absolutely.
I do love the whole reloading system. The auto reloading system, I mean. It's something that really fits me and my playstyle.
It is less traumatic than a normal clipper. That is fair.
They're being quite aggressive here without knowing where all the tanks are. But this is always nice. Casual kill. He doesn't even seem to be putting in any effort here.
No, if they're going to go that far forward and be on their own, isolated, it's,
Oh! That high roll. But this is what I love. You can either decide to shoot shot for shot, or you can just clip people.
Like that. Ooh, good shot into the E100.
And it's not like you have to reload a clip. You can reload whenever.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a great idea. This auto-loading, auto-loaders, whatever you call them. I always struggle. Auto-reloader, that's it.
Yes, that's the word.
Auto-reloader.
By the way, people in the chat are now currently talking about whether or not they can use naughty words in my streams. You can use naughty words as long as you're not insulting people.
Yeah, don't insult anybody. That's not
exactly.
What
I don't mind the casual F-bomb here and there, but you just need to not be rude, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I don't mind my guys saying, "Oh, that was a lovely effing move." I mean,
yeah, exactly. I don't mind that. Nice casual bounce there.
Absolutely. You're right. It looks like he's driving around with one hand.
I do think I understand the end result now, though, because it's like that casual.
Yeah. He's eating a pie whilst driving a Progetto. It's crazy.
Exactly. That about sounds right.
Wowzers, what a great game this is. He's having fun. And that's the main thing. He's having fun.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's a game. So it's all about having fun. He does take another hit there, which he didn't really need to.
No.
He's just a bit greedy at this point. Just
poor
reload your whole
D54
clip
is
before you fire.
he's going to come round when he's just had all his clip there.
No, he doesn't. Oh my god, that was actually a pretty silly move, to be honest. Because he could have clipped him if he waited a split second. That bounce, though.
What a bounce! Sorry, dude. Sorry, you got lucky there with that bounce.
It's a very lucky game, but it's working. It's working very well for him.
RNG's is definitely in your favour on this game. That 54 must be thinking, how did that bounce?
Exactly. But now he needs to be careful because they're both one-shots.
Yeah, but the E100's not even looking at him.
And tracking him, which is a smart move because it keeps him from focusing on...
Oh, gets an engine fire.
And a nice fire. Oh my god. But this is like one of the most casual games I've ever seen.
That really was. It's like, yeah, driving around, one hand with a pie, eating,
Yeah, exactly.
the other hand doing a ratings battle, getting 7k and killing 7 tanks and getting your Raz. I mean, what more do you want?
Well, I mean, it's insane. This should have been an ace, but the way that this was like total casual is, I think, why this turned out to not be an ace. I think it was very close, though.
That always shocks me. I mean, okay, maybe it wasn't enough damage, but he killed 7 tanks. Maybe his spotting was a bit low. I don't know. But yeah, I'm surprised it's not an ace.
It really should have been.
Yeah, I think it's his spotting that's let him down there, rather than anything else.
Ha! Imor kicked Appa booty.
Oh, well, there you go, look. There you go. Yeah, he didn't spot any enemies. There you go, so...
I think it was like...
Only a little bit damage done with his assistance. That's why it's not the ace.
Yeah. But it's kind of sad, though. Because a game like that definitely deserves an ace.
Oh, totally agree. And I've always wondered that. I mean, if you do 7k and get a Raz, then not many people are going to get a Raz in that tank and get 7k. So
I
you've got
legit
you've
don't
got
understand.
yeah, you've got to be in the top 1% of people playing that tank.
Exactly.
It stands to reason. Unless a lot of people got Razzies in that tank and did 7k that week. It just makes no
Yeah, but
sense.
that's why either that or it hasn't been played so little that the bar is just weird.
There could be that. There could be that. I remember a couple of
Really.
updates ago, the bar was weird and everything was really low at tier 10. And
Yeah, that's
people,
probably the reset.
yeah, it was after the
Wargaming says
reset.
that it's a continuous process, but we have noticed that there's certain points where you can you just know that it's been reset because aces are like that easy.
Yeah, and I can't remember who I was talking to. It was either somebody like Fusilier X or Everton, and they were telling me that the bar on the 183 at that particular time was set at like 2,000. It's like what?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had this is actually I'm near to buying the 183, but right now I'm just saving all my credits for the Kranwagen line when it
Oh, and
finally
why
comes.
not? And why not?
Exactly. I'm not allowed to talk about the tank, but just
No.
I'm too lazy to grind new tanks and new lines, so I basically free XP the whole thing. So I just need to make sure that I have the credits for the line.
Well, I've been in a battle where somebody was in a Kramwagen, who I'm not going to mention, and I tell you what, it was tricky to get rid of him, and it took a lot. And it looks a great tank. Don't get me wrong. That was a couple of months ago, so it's been tested since then. So they may have tweaked it or changed it here and there.
It has been changed
Yeah,
since.
but
The tank actually had 2 testing rounds.
yeah, that's what I thought. So it's probably not the same tank as when I came up against one, and we were on Falls Creek, but it was an intimidating tank. To be fair,
For me, it's just the fact that the line has auto reloaders and they just fit my playstyle so well. So that's why I want them.
yeah. I mean, I haven't tested it, and but I played against it, and they look good. I must admit, and it's always nice to have a new line, but they do look good, and I can't
Those
wait for them.
camos. Did you see the preview of the camos?
I have seen that, yeah.
It looks fantastic. Oh, there's a room.
Oh, here we go. Oh, and every good name is taken, and Wild One's Help is also here because it's a semi-final, and everybody's joined us.
Yeah, we're all here.
Hey.
That's kind of weird, though. I mean, I know you have Rip on the other side streaming Raid, so at least there's someone streaming Imor and Raid as well.
Yes, because yeah, I know why Every's here. I think Every had Endgame, but I didn't know. I don't know who Wild One's Helper had. I don't know who Jack had tonight. I've forgotten.
I think Wild One was with Win, probably.
I think he was. Yes, he was with Win. He was. Yes.
So that kind of makes sense then.
But Desert Sands again.
Always, do you also have that feeling that when you see a streamer in another streamer arriving in the room, you're like, "Hey, mate," kind of that feeling.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Everybody's here. It's great. Apart from Rib, who's with Raid, which is good. At least that is getting streamed.
Exactly.
But didn't we just play this
That's
map?
the only thing that I dislike between air brackets. The fact that now everyone is actually I don't know who's actually been put on the third place match. Because you can only have 4 spectators.
You can, yes. Oh, I don't know.
Did Autumn actually say? Let's have a look. Oh, he's getting going through the third place.
Okay, he's got third place tonight. At least somebody's got third place. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, but they kind of have to because with only 4 spectator slots, you can't have 5 streamers.
No, not in the final. And I said this on one of my streams the other day. Ice cream chilling, can you put a 1 or a 2 in? Because you're both called Ice Cream Chillin'. Exactly the same name.
It's just mean though, because that's basically what E7 was always doing.
Yeah.
Bullies.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my princesses. But they are so troll.
It's like when I streamed Endgame the other night, and you have to default to saying Ice Cream Chilling number 1, Ice Cream Chilling number 2. But it does get confusing if they're in the same tank, by the way.
Then that is just evil. In this
Yeah.
case, you can say E5 and T22.
But yeah, I mean, when they go in the same tank, it is just evil, as you say. But we're on desert sands, and no surprise, Legion haven't changed.
Aw, Juice is in the chat. Hey, Juicy. As in Legion Juicy.
Yeah. Well, Juicy will be streaming as well. Oh, but he's not playing.
Is he? I'm not sure.
I mean,
Because
like, so
before
many
he was
positive
recording and he
things,
would
maybe we
upload
can
it later to see if it was actually affecting his game performance.
Oh,
Because,
right.
of course, it always uses a lot more internet and a lot more CPU of whatever you're on
Yeah, it does.
if you're going to stream.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, he did stream a few of his battles at the beginning of the tour, but and I think he streamed the other day. But I think you're right. I think he may have stopped, but he's dropped out now. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no,
But
I mean, he's a
was
great
sick
streamer.
before, so I'm actually he's getting better now. So I'm really glad with that.
Yeah, he was a bit. Yeah. I mean, he's a great guy as well. I mean, he's helped me no end on certain little bits and bobs here and there. To refine the stream. He's a fantastic chap, really down to earth.
Absolutely.
And he's helped me no end. He's been great.
In the meantime, we now have 45 seconds left to go, and Legion has rated up in 2 T22 mediums, a Vickers, 3 E5s, and a 215B, versus 1 Vickers, 2 T22 mediums, and 4 E5s. This is also me saying they're not going to take this very seriously.
and we're back on desert sands, so it's going to be another one of those. But this time, it's going to be interesting to see if Endgame are going to YOLO through in the desert to meet them, which we might be.
I definitely have a feeling we're going to see full YOLO gaming here.
Absolutely.
And then just massive brawl. Because at this stage, they generally don't care. They both have a match left after this.
Yes.
And they're just going to have fun.
But they're pretty cemented in the tops, into the pro series anyway, in the top 8. So,
Absolutely, especially since they're already top 4, so they're gaining more cups than most.
Absolutely. So why just take on necessary risks? Just go out and have some fun.
Exactly. And let's see. Legion indeed going desert. EG doing the same thing.
Yeah, led by
Amaunets
Nicolade.
hesitating a little bit.
Oh, Nicolade and Eggy just spotting each other up. Oh, good shot
Speed
by
boosting
Nicolade.
everywhere.
Look at this.
I think right now they're just waiting for the whole team to be there before they go in.
It's going to be. It is going to be a bit of a brawl. Although Eggy is getting out of there, and so is Zerd.
No, I think Bane needs to just get behind the heavies.
That's what I think they're doing because
Let the
they've
heavies soak up the
seen.
damage.
I mean, they saw Winchelade coming around the corner there, so.
Are they actually playing passively? What is this?
Well, it's not what I expected. Eggy and Zerd have rotated all the way back to the spawn almost with Object 3. That is interesting.
Legion losing a little bit of HP here. Base A has been kept. And Legion is pulling back.
Yeah. Where's the 215P gone? There's Vanessa Kate.
And now base C is being taken. That could be dangerous because now EG knows that they have a gun advantage here.
Yes. Well, there's Vanessa
At the
Kate
very
right
least
at the
one.
side. Which is probably why Endgame are now pushing a little bit. Yes, they are. Nicolade trying to get up the spots there. Here come the rest of them.
Thomas is going to be the sacrificial lamb by the looks of it.
Zerd gets an important shot into there.
Oh, Winch getting murdered.
Yeah. Eggy's going to come in and try and finish him off, I think. No, Object 3 gets the kill. Carolade pushing heavily onto Object 3 and Zerd.
This is interesting. Look at the way that Legion was actually behind on things.
Yeah.
And now they're the ones that are continuously pinstering people and basically murdering them.
Oof.
Angie has been taken out, but Joshua is almost gone as well. There goes Eggy. Object 3 is not long for this wall either. There he goes.
Yep.
Carolade.
Oh, good kill.
Carolade actually getting stuck on a blown off turret there.
Yep. Allowing Zerd to take the kill. And he's taking it. He's focusing on ice cream chili number 2.
Thomas moving in. He might not survive this.
Both the ice cream chillins have gone down. Vanessa Kate taking out the other one.
Romka
Leaving
taking
Romka
out.
left.
He's the last one left.
Was
there
the last one left. Wowzers.
I mean, I do love this, but like I said, they're not taking it seriously.
Not really. Not really. I mean, but they're both having a bit of fun. They're both testing each other out now. That's all they're doing. They don't need to really push the boat out for this.
Oh god, look at that. Zerd is taking a VK.
I just saw that.
That's what are you doing? Oh, there we go.
There we go. Press the wrong button.
Exactly.
So Orc has rotated in for Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we're going to see pretty much of the same.
Yeah, but it's like, this is sort of like a general meta lineup that is working.
Yeah.
With the sandbags and the adrenaline and the speed boost and all of that.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the consumables now for the E5 has made it such a go-to tank. You know, if you remember last year, it was the 215B.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 215B, okay, Vanessa Kate's taking one, but the 215B has really dropped out of the limelight on the tour circuit and being replaced by the E5.
If we're going to see it more later on, because the 205B has been very vital when it comes to DPM.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're going to make push or if you're going to hold, the FV215B works really well.
Yeah, and it finally did get its HP back, let's be fair.
That too. So we see pretty much same lineup on EG's side, and we see pretty much the same lineup on Elite.
Absolutely.
I think they're, except for the 1E5 versus 215B, Thomas does need to ready up though.
Mm-hmm.
It would help if he did that.
Thomas!
Are we going to get a 7 versus 6?
Did Thomas click it on time?
Oh my god.
No!
No, he didn't!
Thomas, what are you doing, dude?
Oh god, his game crashed.
Oh no!
Oh my god. Oh, that's the worst time to have a game crash.
Absolutely. Well, let's
But
see what
that's
Legion can do with only 6.
You, not us. Yeah, and it's versus EG. So I have a feeling that we know we're going to get a tiebreaker.
It could be looking that way.
I mean, it's a whole gun advantage, and I think that EG is just not even going to bother trying to play tactics now. They're just waiting for them all to be there.
Absolutely. I mean, Nicolade was very quick to get to that position. And look at Ice Cream in Romka, just, again, very quick to get to where they want to be.
Yeah, I don't think they... I'm not even sure they use the speed boost now.
No.
Because they didn't need to. They can just use them when they push. Walker and Winch pushing on.
Yep. Oh, they're not even stopping. Hawk
No,
is just going straight
No!
through. Walker's like, come on then. Oh, here come the rest of EG behind, turning the turrets of Legion onto Orca.
The radical's being tracked vital here because he's absolutely being murdered. He was even set on fire. Poor guy.
Poor NG trying to get out of there. Here comes Eggy running around. Crazy fool again in the Vickers.
E5 chilling is about to be taken out. But Eggy has been taken out as well.
Yeah. Vanessa Kate
Oof,
trying to come in there.
goes.
Oh, Vanessa Kate trying to
Still alive. Oh, there he goes.
Vanessa Kate getting caught out there. Oh, Nicolade bouncing around. Now it's
Object
Engi's
3
turn
still
to be
alive.
focused.
Aw. I mean, have to give them credit. It did take out 3 tanks here.
Look at this, they're completely ignoring Engi.
Because why not?
Why not, indeed?
We have
Romka's
Raging
like, no, I'm
on
not.
one side
Yeah, no, Romka's,
and
no,
a sandwich
no.
on the other.
Yeah. And
Aww.
there we go.
Oh, bless.
But in the chat there, they said that Orca's game crashed as well.
Yeah, because the servers at the moment are really not stable.
No, they're not. So, but did Orca's game crash, or did he just YOLO for a fun of? We don't know. We just have to take EG's word for it.
Now, maybe he crashed as well, but he was just lucky enough to ready up.
Yeah. Well, Thomas has made sure he's ready up.
Oh, bless.
Now we switch to Canal.
Oh, in the meantime, Kiwi is dissing people in the chat, like in a fun, immature way.
Kiwi, Legion's
Yeah,
biggest supporter.
He is always so
Absolutely.
fun, and basically he spams the chat and everything, but it's just so funny to read every single time.
Wowzers. 2 Leos. Interesting.
So, oh my god, yeah, that is definitely interesting. They're going to be eaten alive. And we see an AMX-50B appearing on the other side, along with another Vickers. T-22s are gone, but we are going to Canal, so very different map. And I think that in this case, Legion has a stronger spawn.
Yes. Yeah, I think they probably do.
This is one of the most asymmetric maps when it comes to the spawns, in my opinion. And that has everything to do with, if you get base B and you push base A, then you can put the whole map in lockdown.
Yeah.
And the only place that the enemy team is going to get is base D.
Yeah. And you're forced to, I mean, trying to push onto base B is very difficult.
Exactly.
Because they just...
Whereas you can easily decap base C from the B side.
Yeah, because all they do is drop down into the canal area and just wait for you to come onto B, and E5s can do that easily. So.
Exactly. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, because Leos can work out really well on this map because of the laser accuracy. But basically you just breathe on them and they've lost half their HP.
I mean, I'm expecting them to go to D and then just try and get shots onto B, but you just never know.
So let's see.
Oh, they are heading that way.
They're not even going to A. Or maybe they're sending the Vickers to A, I think. Object 3 moving into position to decap C.
Zerd is just coming straight over. They're pushing straight through. No.
I think they're hoping to catch EG unawares enough to take out some tanks before they lose some of their own. But Angie is not in a good position there, and he lost a lot of HP just crossing over.
Yeah, he did.
And there he goes. That is sort of like backfired. And now base B is being capped, but EG has a gun advantage, an HP advantage, and a base advantage.
And now they're rotating those Leos in.
Ooh, but they are being punished for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Object 3 is doing all he can to stay around the B cap. He has got a full clip, however.
Yeah, but he has to be careful. Winch.
Oh, winch.
Get there.
Oh,
and that's the end of winch. Base A being capped, and Object 3 wisely reloading. They think that he still has 2 shells now.
Yeah.
But EG has about a 3 tanks advantage in points.
Yeah, and Thomas is in a dangerous position realistically if they decide to push, because Romka
but he
and
has
Ice
Zerd
Cream
behind
could.
him.
He does have Zerd
And
behind
Eggy
him.
in the Vickers.
Yeah, because Egg is now dropped down, which is very good, and Romka's trying to get up high to get those spots.
Object 3 really wants Base B, and they know they need it.
Yeah. He's now got support with Vanessa, though. in the Vickers.
Yeah, but they would have to move in both of them, and they're both very lightly armored, so that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, and look at Ice Cream
So
chilling
he's
in the
not doing that.
T22 and the
I
Leo over
think
there.
they're going to push the lonesome E5s there.
Well,
Or potentially attempt to steal base C.
that's what they're stacking
Tom
up
is still
for.
getting shot at. Hmm.
I mean, they're stacking up down here. On
Yes, I
for a
think we're
push.
going to see a push on this side. But they're trying to stay hidden as long as they can.
Vanessa Kate is going.
There we go. Lonesome E5 are being pushed.
Oh, good, important shot there by Romka. Didn't work out, but Thomas has now moved in as well.
Yeah, this is basically EG's weak side, but EG is not as weak as they think.
Or Romka is, though. He manages to get out of the danger, however. Thomas is now very much in danger. Well, Thomas is about to go as a one-shot.
Yeah, and Orca has no... There you go.
There he goes.
That was not entirely as intended by Legion, I think. Zerd is also going to be very gone soon.
Yeah.
This was a field push, and I'm pretty sure EG is going to take this home. With the 2 gun advantage and the 2k HP advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like I always pronounce his name
Radicals.
wrong. Radikos is probably maybe going to get some... No, he bounces Romka. You didn't want that.
Eggy is almost gone. Finista's almost gone. There goes the Radicals. Chilling
Eggy.
might be gone.
Oh,
no,
Eggy
not
goes.
even.
Couldn't get Ice Cream chilling down.
But now he's basically on the drum
Poor
reloads.
old
That's not
object.
gonna go well. Epic Colobeno time?
Object still on his reload. I think Ice Cream in 2 may get him, and he does.
There you go.
I don't think that was their battle plan.
Not really, no.
I don't
But
think
those Leos, they were vital.
they were in the end. But I don't think NG was expected to go down so quickly in the position he was in. He got really
he was
focused as he
tracked
crossed.
multiple times crossing over.
Oh yeah,
And that basically got him absolutely massacred.
absolutely. So it's not a
See,
Legion
give me
final.
another. Yeah, it's EG versus Raid next.
Oh, it is. Yes, and Imor against Legion
Yes.
for the 3rd place battle.
Let's see. That is happening in 15, 16 thereabouts minutes.
No, the 3rd place is happening in 5 minutes. And we are kicking off in, about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any replay in the list that I gave you that you want to see, or do you have any replays that?
No, I mean, I'd love to see the Wonderkind replay. To be fair, because that's just funny.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's start that one then. I showed this replay on stream last Sunday, but it definitely deserves bigger showing off because it's literally the weirdest game I've ever seen. Wonderkind and Indigo, by the way, have their own YouTube channel. They are very OP players.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, this is literally, like I said, it's the weirdest game I've ever seen. Indigo is a little bit salty there. Okay, I'm at the battle part.
Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, press. Yeah, he's a little bit salty there, bless him. Sorry about that, because I'd stopped it on battle, and you could see some of the saltiness.
But basically, this is something. I'm not excusing it, by the way, because I always feel rude players should be chat banned. But basically, what you need to do while watching this replay is not as much watch what Wonderkind is doing or what Indigo is doing. Watch what the enemy is doing.
Wise words there from Amaunets, trust me. Because I have also seen the replay, and very wise words.
It's seriously, I've never seen anything as weird as this. In my whole 30k, 35k battles.
And before you spam the chat, yes, okay, it's a smasher, but it's not that OP in this game.
Smasher is a great tank, but I think it's the player that makes a tank OP, not a tank.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I've seen people play smashers and die with doing no damage.
Exactly. So you see the enemy moving around, you see them shooting, remember that.
Yeah.
And they have a smasher as well, by the way. Very low roll on the SPG there.
Yeah. And you can see the smasher is pushing on their team, the KV3. It's a KV3 and it's a smasher.
And it's a fire and it's gone.
There you go. And there
Nice
goes the T29.
But like I said, remember, you've seen where the enemy is. It's just so weird, this.
It's bizarre.
And there goes the Dicker.
And you've still got a T-34-85, which is a good tank. And you saw the AMX AC-46 fire there.
Exactly, they shot. Oh, and that's the end of that. So all players gone. Except for the T-34-85. They all moved.
Mm-hmm.
They all shot. And then you get this team result. Seriously.
7 zeros.
I've never seen anything like this, ever.
In theory, there are 9 zeros because the Panther and the SU-100Y on Wunderkind and Indigo's team also scored a 0. So,
yeah.
9 zeros.
It's just so weird.
Unbelievable.
I've never seen this many donuts, but it's just the game only took 2.5 minutes. But if you look at the players, T-34-85 was AFK.
Yeah.
The Tiger 1 fired twice, hit twice, but didn't do any damage.
Mm-hmm.
Digger Max fired 3 times, missed all 3 shots.
Oof.
The AMX fired 3 times, hit 2, but didn't do any damage.
Oh dear.
The Smasher fired 3 times, hit all 3. He had some module damage, but other than that, no actual damage.
Mm-hmm.
T-29, we saw him driving. He didn't do any damage. He didn't shoot. And the SPG shot once, hit once, but didn't do any damage.
Wow.
But it's just weirdest game ever.
Wow. That's all I can say to that. Wow. I mean, 7 donuts. Open a shop.
Exactly. It's just that is. I love that because Wonderkind actually PM'd me this replay. He also PM'd me another replay, but I still need to look at that before I decide whether or not I should actually show it. Because that is a game where he does 0 damage, but he says that it's a very special game and they won, so I'm very curious. But
so
he knows that I like quirky games like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said to you, I mean, I once played a tier 10 game where it was on Rockfield and I was in a WZ121 and we'd gone to where it wasn't a supremacy game, but we'd gone to the C area and there was no tier 9s, it was all tier 10. And on my team, we had a grill and an E100 and a Progetto and a VK72 and a mouse. And I went forward to do some spots, got the spots. The grill was on its own on the opposite team, so I pushed the grill, did 2,000 damage, and then the game was over. And I was like, what? The game's over. The rest of my team scored 0. They took shots.
So weird.
And we're talking a mouse, an E100, blah, blah, blah. It's like, really? Unbelievable. And
One of the best games I've ever had, that was in 2015 somewhere, so ages ago.
Yeah.
Was with Buffalo Toast, who later joined me in Loca. I'm not sure where he is now, if he even plays anymore. But there was a competition going on, which basically meant do the highest damage in the tune.
Okay.
And we won that. We were basically, he especially, but we both did massive carries. It was on the old mines, so like the first mines.
Oh, yeah.
And we had Object 268 in our team who did less than 300 damage. The only other one in the team to actually do damage. But we would have lost without him because he reset the cap at 99.
Oof.
It was awesome.
Fantastic. I remember I did a ratings battle in. Do you know when we did the ratings battle missions earlier this year? I went into a ratings battle in a STB1. Funnily, I think it was it was a Leo one. I was in a Leo one, and on my team was End Toast in a 268, and and it was a ratings battle, and we won the battle, and I got something like 60 ratings points after churning out just 2,500 damage and taking one kill. Entoast did 6k damage and got less
God.
points.
That is insane.
And he was like, "Hey, how? What?" Like, sorry.
And the city, he's such a nice guy as well.
It was a funny battle that he got so many less points than me, and he did all the hard work.
Aww. But it's kind of like the 7k, 7 kills that is not getting you an ace.
Yeah.
It's equally weird.
Absolutely. And he sent me a message on Discord when we were doing the ratings battle. He said, "Really? I did like 4k more damage than you, and you get more points." Like, yeah, thanks for
But
the
to be
carrot.
fair, one thing to take into account with ratings is always that if your ratings is relatively low, you gain ratings a lot quicker.
Yeah.
The higher your rating is, the slower it goes.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I think he knew that. He was just ribbing me.
It's just really funny, yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It really was an interesting game. But
So yeah, room invite should be up in, I think, 4 minutes thereabouts.
it should be about
Legion.
3 or 4 minutes.
Legion and Immo is already going, so kind
Absolutely.
of curious about that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, Immel will be looking to seriously do some damage there because it really will help them.
Yeah, but they're already in place 3, I mean, at the moment, so
Oh,
they
they
don't
are.
really
No,
need
they
it.
are. They're already. I forgot that they're already because they were hugging the bottom at one stage, but they really piled on the pressure and moved shockingly up the leaderboard really well. So yeah.
To be fair, that's something I still disagree with. They use 2 teams. And I know that only the better result counts, but it basically gives yourself a lifeline.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to these tours, it's you're right. It's quick tours, yeah, different kettle of fish. But when in these tours, it does give you a lifeline.
There's some loopholes that Wargaming definitely needs to plug. The one battle 100% win rates definitely needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Seeding needs to work differently, because right now it's very unfair that one battle counts way more than 30k battles, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And we've said this a lot recently. They need to change the seeding system somehow because it does create a disadvantage if you have those type of reroll accounts coming in with 100% battles. And
Yeah.
I was talking to Wild Ones Helper about this the other day. I've come across players who've played one battle in a premium tier 8, for example, got their 100%, and then the rest of their battles are just ratings or whatever
But
to maintain
that
it.
I would be sorry, yeah.
That's to maintain their 100% win rate.
That I wouldn't mind actually if the account can actually play tier 10. But
Oh
there's
no,
a
this
bunch
one
of those
couldn't.
accounts
This one couldn't.
that are literally empty.
Yeah. No, this account couldn't play tier 10. I can't remember what team he was. I don't think he was one of the tournament teams. But yeah, it is a system that can be manipulated. To be honest, it can be. When they first introduced it, it was a fairish system. I agree. But then back in those days, we didn't have ratings in other types of things, and it wasn't as easy to grind your way to tier 10. To be honest with you, but they really they need to look at it because it can create a disadvantage.
Yeah. I am kind of curious how that's going to go next season, because I know that Wargaming doesn't edit the rules mid-season. And I'm also very curious to see how it's going to go with all the account bans.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
mean, again, this is something that we're taking a vested interest in, especially with Asia,
Hmm.
because there is controversy over a certain team in Asia.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's a whole other matter because that team
Absolutely,
is supposed to be banned from tournaments in both Asia server and China server. So them
absolutely.
suddenly having accounts that are not rerolls, so they're literally using other people's accounts.
Well, this is the thing, and they are in the top eight. Admittedly, they're at the bottom of the top eight, but it's a game changer coming into the Pro Series.
Exactly. So I'm very curious to see how that will go because basically Wargaming gave such a giant warning with the summer season that anyone getting banned now is basically has done it willfully and consciously.
You're right, especially after, as you said, the big shot across the bows that Wargaming did at the end of the summer season, where they said, "We're not standing for this, guys. We are going to ban you. We are going to take action."
Exactly.
So
But I'm
yeah,
kind of curious also how far back they look. I mean, I know that Wargaming isn't going to disclose any of that,
no,
but I do feel that you shouldn't ban a tournament account or exclude them from prizes if the account sharing happened before the actual tournament. I think they should look at the tournament period itself
I
when
think,
you want to exclude him from the prizes,
yeah.
that is.
I mean, like you said, they're never going to tell us because obviously we'll find work, or the people will find workarounds. But my understanding with the particular team in Asia is that they were banned from all tournaments for a set period of time,
Yeah,
and the period of time is not expired. So,
exactly.
so that is a big cloud hanging over Asia at the moment. It really is.
The thing is, though, that it's not named to be them, as in they're playing on other people's accounts, and those accounts are going to get banned, not their own.
Correct, because that's the way the system works. It's and it's something that wargaming. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they do. They're good with some of their rules and regulations, but I think they're a little bit dated, and they don't cover tournaments effectively. Which
No, they
is
don't.
which
And I
which
think that
is
in this case,
yeah.
if you're going to ban people for account sharing, you should ban it both connections.
I
So,
no I
like, for instance,
exactly
if I log
exactly
onto your account should get banned for being shared. My account should be banned for the same thing because I'm doing it.
exactly, and this is the thing. They need to revisit if they want the tournament scene in Clan Wars to be as professional as they say, and they do because they're investing a lot in it. Then they really do need to take a step back and say, okay, we need a different set of rules. We need to close loopholes, and we need to
Yeah.
tighten up across the board. And I think you're right. They're not going to do it now. It's in a season, but they do need to consider it for next season, for next year. To be
And I
honest.
think there already are more consequences for this season than there were previous seasons
Yeah,
because of those account bans.
absolutely, absolutely.
In the meantime, by the way, we have less than a minute to go now.
Yep.
Raid has finally readied up with two E3s, one IS4, three E5s, and a Vicus. Going to go up against two T22 mediums, three E5s, an IS4, and another T22 medium, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Rockfield, so that's an interesting map. Makes for a lot of mobility being able to be exploited, not a lot of gun depression always being needed.
And only one ice cream chilling this time makes it easier. This time, General and Beacon rotating in.
I do like that. That's also the pro of having this uh these series where when you once you reach the top eight, you don't have to take it too seriously anymore because it allows you to rotate people in and try every combination basically.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with there's only a couple of rounds to go now, there's no harm in the teams trying different things.
Exactly. So many T22s. Pay to win teams.
Absolutely.
To be fair, it kind of is. At this stage, I think anyone that's playing competitively, as in the top teams, will have their T22s and will have spent the money to get it.
Oh, absolutely. Why
But the
why
fact that
not?
you have to, and that you have to gamble for it, that's just wrong.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and this is where the disadvantage kicks in, because if you can't afford it and you like that, then it's going to be difficult to get your paws on that tank.
Exactly, because it can cost you like €5. It can also cost you 500.
Exactly.
In
But
the meantime, we see basically a base C show-off happening. Ice Cream chilling, being a bit too aggressive here. The rest of EG moving in as well. I think we're entering the brawl stage already.
absolutely, I'm just watching S1K and Blaster here and their 113s getting
Ice Cream
great
chilling
shots
is not going
across.
to be long for this world.
No. Money Dude
JP
really
does
pushing
need it.
heavily.
Beckon being absolutely massacred here.
Yeah.
JP running away, being chased by Nicolade. There
Beckon
goes Bacon, there goes Ice Cream, there goes JP.
Yeah.
Serious gaming? What is that?
General can't do much, so he's just going to sit there and smack Toby.
Drizzle almost gone, there he goes.
Caroline.
Basically, like I said, this is just full-on rush.
Yeah, Carolade stuck between two 113s.
Yeah, he's not going to survive that. Orca. Getting into trouble as well. Raid Money Dude has been taken out. Sick has been taken out. Carolade as well.
Alright, still
Blaster
3
now
on
being
4.
focused on.
It's an interesting one. If they can get rid of Blaster, the Generals come round to help out, and so is the other 8s. It's 2 on 4
So now it's
now.
4 guns versus 2.
Oh.
General being a bit YOLO there, not really waiting. Orca arriving at the back. Taking advantage
Big
of
roll into
the other way.
Toby there. Just OG
Orca
left.
might not survive this, but it doesn't matter. Too many guns. There he goes.
Nicolade's going to come round and put shots into the backside now. There we go.
Orca's not happy. He was posting stars in the chat. But even if Winch doesn't make this, like I said, they're definitely winning this.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, just very
that's the first game.
brawly. Yeah. Just a big brawl.
Honestly, I don't mind it as much. I mean,
No.
it's sad if you actually expect serious gameplay at this stage. But
Oh,
when
yeah.
you know it's not going to be like that, it's just funny.
Oh, exactly. You get to, and now we got 2 ice cream chillings again. But it's always interesting to see them just. I mean, at this stage, they're both through. They can just chill out and have a bit of fun.
Exactly. It doesn't even matter for them who's going to be at which place. They
No.
both get the most amount of cups.
Yeah.
And they're already safe in their top 8.
Exactly. So you might as well just YOLO and just try and have a bit of fun at the same time.
Exactly. And not lose too much energy and brain power having to focus really hard.
Exactly, and also not give your strats away.
In the meantime, if you've been watching from the beginning, you already have all your rewards and everything, so that all should be good. And with less than a minute to go, Raid is now going to take 2 113s, 3 E5s, and 2 22 mediums versus 4 E5s, 2 Vicus, a 113, and a T22 medium.
Fun tanks.
I actually like that the Vicus is actually competitive, though.
Yeah, but are they going to nerf it? I hope they don't. But the chances are they will, because they're beautiful tanks. All 3 of those British Lights are beautiful tanks.
I'm not sure they're going to nerf it because it's relatively OP in the hands of a good player, but most players are not good.
Correct. I mean, I love all 3 of them. I think they're fantastic tanks, and I think. I mean, I love the fact that we're getting lights other than the back chat, etc., etc. I think it's great, and it's needed, and it gives that oomph to the game, and I hope they don't nerf them, and it's great to see them being used in the tournaments because they are so effective in the right hands, as you say.
Exactly. I think that if they do get nerfed, it would be like tiny changes.
Yeah.
Not like massive as in the Sheridan. And Sheridan just needs to get his missiles removed, and then it can be banned probably.
Yeah, I think the only thing they'll look at with the Vickers is maybe its view range, because its view range is a bit big.
They nerfed the STB in order to make the Vickers competitive. I still dislike that. General being very forwards here, but possibly
Absolutely.
getting away with it.
So's Toby.
Yeah. People getting spotted. Shots not being fired.
There they go. They're just rolling in. Good old raid.
YOLO going to happen.
Bit of a brawl. Here come the Lades. They're just going to brawl.
Yeah, they're focusing on Winch and Nico.
They are. They're completely ignoring Correlate.
Drizzle going after, wanting to take out Winch. I think Winch is going to be the first one to go. Perhaps
Absolutely.
Blaster, but I think Winch. No, he survives another one.
Can Winch bounce the third? No, he can't.
Sobi was actually the first, but Winch is second.
Yep.
And like I said, we have Brawl stage now. The Vickers and the E5 going after JP, which does put EG at a gun disadvantage over here. But Money Dude has been taken out. Carolate's not looking too healthy, but Blast is not looking healthy either. It's getting hugged. No, not hugged to death.
Ice Cream Chillin' easily kills Blaster.
Exactly. Carolate is gone, but now we have Sick being sandwiched. There goes Ice Cream Chilling.
And there goes Sick.
There goes Sick. Nicolate not long for this build either, but now we have Orca going to come up behind him. Behind OG.
Yeah.
And Nicolate is going to run around in circles. JP has been taken out. Again, this is definitely EG's game.
Yep, and Ice Cream Chillin' just right for the load. There we go. Orca mistiming the shot.
This is just like... just go YOLO and see who YOLO's most effectively.
Absolutely. And Drizzle just getting a bit of a bump by General there.
And there we go. Game over. 2 minutes and 20 seconds before the last shot was fired.
And there you go. Full on YOLO brawl.
Aww. It's relatively close though every time. You just basically you're looking at when the second gun falls. That's when you start seeing the point which team is most likely to win.
Absolutely. And unsurprisingly, by the way, Legion come in third.
Did not expect anything else, to be honest. But that is mostly because even when Legion is not taking it seriously, they're just on point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. And I mean, this time, I mean, Immor tried, bless them, but couldn't do it today. But it doesn't matter to them. They're still up top. They don't care.
Every has arrived in the chat, in the stream.
Oh, hello, Every. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, he streamed the third place, so he'll be done just a little bit quicker
yes,
than.
Of course. Well, that would have been a good game to watch, though. I mean, he would have been seeing Legion and Immor, but neither of which need to really battle it out.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I mean, they're both pretty secure.
Exactly. So basically, it's all about Souls and Appa and Vil. Those are the three to watch for the final places. The rest has a pretty steady lead. But let's see, how did Souls do this time around?
Souls blipped tonight. Well, I say blipped. They got to the same stage as Vale.
Yeah, so that's going to be tricky as well.
Well,
because they won't have advanced.
Well, no, they
but
won't.
But basically, Appa might overtake. Not necessarily now already. No, actually, I think they will.
I think Appa will overtake Souls now. Appa will overtake Souls, which puts Souls in the danger with
Vil.
With Vil, just literally nipping at their heels.
Exactly.
Which is going to be interesting. I mean, Vil do need to pull it out a bit. To be fair, I mean they've been a bit unlucky with the seeding, but they need to forget about it and hunker down. And they can do it. We've seen that before. They can do it, and they have the ability to do it.
They just need to not meet Legion straight away.
Yeah, I mean, Their blip came last week when they came up against Imor in the group stage and didn't progress to the final stage, and that really hurt them.
Hmm.
And that's what they've got to they've got to avoid that. They've got to make sure they always make it into the final stages.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Or at least further than Souls and Appa.
yeah, and that's what hurt them last week by not advancing to the final stage. It deprived them of a lot of cups, and it knocked them out of the top 8 and gave Appa the opportunity to come in. Which would have disappointed, at least. It would have disappointed the lads at Vale, to be fair.
There's still a chance. I mean, the battle for place 7 and 8 is still open, but for the rest,
Yeah.
not really.
No,
And it's between those 3, because after that you have Mercy and ASP, but they're already 2k cups behind thereabouts, so that's going to be very tricky for them to get it back. Chances of them reaching that top 1 is not big.
True. I mean, and don't forget, Win also blipped tonight, going out in round 16 to Mercy. But Win are quite secure in 5th place. I mean, it's going to take a lot for them to fall down out of the top 8, I think.
I'm glad of that, because I really want them in the top 8.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want Win in the top 8? I mean, they're a dream to watch. They're so entertaining. You just never know what they're going to do.
Exactly, and that's just. I think it makes it fun for us, but I think it also makes it fun for the teams they're up against, because they really keep them on their toes.
Oh, yeah, brilliant! I mean, they're a brilliant team to watch, and I love streaming Win. They keep us on their toes, and they keep the teams on their toes, and they're just fantastic to watch. They really are. So I'm glad I'm really happy that they will make it through. I think they're pretty secure up there. And as you say, I mean, I think it's 7 and 8 is the danger area. Souls blipping tonight, and Appa progressing above Souls potentially. But Vale, if they want to get into that top 8, they've got to come up with a strategic plan on focusing on that. Just getting there, that's all they need to do.
Well, at the moment, there's a lot of players switching clans from teams that are not going to make the top 8. So maybe Phil could get an advantage with that. I mean, it's always risky to get a new player into your team. True. But if that player is especially skilled, and you do have that little bit of time to train to see if a person fits in your team, then that might give them the advantage.
Well, we've already seen that. I mean, at the start of the season, we had, for example, Bushka J. He was sat in
Eden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Vention wasn't in Vale.
No, exactly.
So they've taken on Vention, they've taken on Bushka J. So it is possible, as you say, to recruit these good players who are in clans that aren't going to make the top 8, and it could help them out.
I'm curious to see. I mean, there's 3 rounds left to go after tonight. Anything can still happen, but the top 6 is pretty much set.
Yeah,
I don't see any changes happening there.
No.
But yeah, it will be fun.
It will be. I mean, as much as I don't get me wrong. I mean, all the teams deserve to be there who are there, but I've got a soft spot for Vale. I really have.
I kind of do too, because there's a bunch of guys in there that have helped me a lot with the competition that my nephew ran, and they're just so nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a big soft spot for them, and I'd love to see them do well. And the soft spot developed over the spring season when they got into the top 8, and they were the underdogs, and they gave it their all, and it was beautiful to watch, because I played with some of these guys, and watching these guys finally getting their pro avatars and being so chuffed about it, it was brilliant to watch them come up. It really was, and it's nice to see that.
I think that's also made them hungry for more.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the Phil we see now is very different in team, mainly because R2K originally went back to R2K, the players that were in Vil.
Yeah.
And Vil has grown a lot since then as basically on their own.
Absolutely. And it's been great. I mean, like I said, it's been a pleasure to watch them progress. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to see them there. Not taking anything away from Souls or Appa, but sorry, I have got a soft spot for Vale, and I'd love to see them there. I mean,
Definitely.
two of the teams I'd love to see there. Forget the normal ones of Legion and Endgame, and because they're
In
always
the
going to be there.
normal.
But I'd love to see. I'm really, really excited to see Win there. I love Win. I think they're
Yeah,
brilliant. I've got a soft spot for them too. I mean, I call them the plucky Finns because they are. And
exactly.
I'd love to see Vale there. But that's not taking anything away from anybody else because I think they're all great guys and great teams. But I just got a soft spot for those two, and I really want them there.
Me too. That's why I'm glad that Win is pretty much set. They're in the top six, so they're pretty much very
Absolutely.
weird things have to happen for them not to make it.
Exactly. I mean, I was streaming Win the other night on Normandy, and it was they were
That
against
was so
Appa.
fun.
They were against Appa, and it was unbelievable to stream and unbelievable to watch. And I mean, killer from the north. If you're out there and you're watching, seriously, dude, in a Vickers, you throw that thing everywhere, everywhere. It's brilliant. I mean, everywhere I was, there was Kuma. Sorry, there was Killer from the north in his Vickers, taking a shot, then moving on to the next to the next brawl. And it was beautiful to watch, and they completely took Appa by surprise. I think.
Yeah, but Win's strong point, that unsettling bit, that works for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, poor Scarecrow. Hello, Scarecrow. He wants me to say hello. Hello, Scarecrow. But yeah, I mean, I was watching Win the other week in the third place playoff. I was streaming that. Again, they were against Asp, I believe, and it was beautiful to watch. Absolutely beautiful. On Middleburg, and they just railroaded them. And that's not taking anything away from Asp because they played really well, but Win were just so beautiful to watch,
Yeah,
unpredictable,
yeah,
lovely,
exactly.
lovely people.
I think that's something that people generally need to realize. When we say that one team was exceptional or anything, it doesn't mean we didn't like the other team or that the other team wasn't good. It
Yeah,
was just that the flow of that gameplay that we've seen or that specific player was just something that stood out extra to us because all
yeah.
these teams are good.
Exactly, exactly. And it's always difficult to pick a team and to say, yeah, I think this team's great and blah blah blah. But we always know that Endgame, Legion, Loka, they're the usual suspects. They're gonna be there, and
Exactly.
it's great to see those clans that are just a little bit away, and are they going to be there or not? Because they're like the plucky underdogs, and Win and
Hmm.
Vale are really that. I mean, don't get me wrong. On their day, Win can spoil the party of any team,
Yeah.
and teams come against them at their peril because they just don't know if it's going to be the day that they're going to spoil their party, and they can do that.
Exactly.
They really can, and it's great to watch. Hang on a minute. Hello, APA Jenko of the FRZ clan. There you go. I said it, and it was a bit cheeky. But you're a nice guy, Jenko, so it's okay.
He is. He is.
But yeah,
But yeah, I think that means I'm going to round it up. Everyone
yep.
that watched from the beginning, even when you started watching when the gameplay actually began, we already have gotten all the rewards now. So I'm going to call it a night for my stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks to chat for all the laughs. Thanks all the teams for the wonderful